Hello, welcome to our birthday party.
Woo!
We are celebrating 5 years as Black Girls Create. So this live stream is to hang out with the Black girls who create Black Girls Create and talk with some of our community members, contributors, anyone who's on the live stream about fandom and creation and celebrating 5 years of BGC. We're going to play some games and we're going to answer some of your questions because it's an owl post. So all while we're talking, if you have questions that come up or things that you want to know, throw them in the chat, DM us, email us, weblackandnerds@gmail.com. However you get us, send us something if you're in Slack, put it in BGC General and we'll see it. And we'll start answering your questions as we roll along. But first, let's introduce ourselves. We'll go
Let me introduce myself.
So,
Is that me?
Yeah, that's y'all.
Well, that would have flipped. You, and then me, and then Connie.
Oh. Okay. Gotta start at 9:00. Okay. Oh yikes.
Geez.
I'm Diana. I'm co-founder and editor-in-chief of Black Girls Create.
I'm Robin. I'm co-founder and senior community officer at Black Girls Create. Comstop.
My name's Connie.
I mean, is it really in this community?
Honestly, it's never just been Connie. Like, this is not the only time that my name has just been mutated into many different forms. It's a problem that has followed me in my whole life. But I'm managing editor of Black Girls Create.
I'm Delia. Y'all know that. I'm the marketing director for Black Girls Create. We out here. We be marketing and stuff. Oh, well, we'll finish. I'll go on. Go, Portia. Oh, spoiler.
Hi, everyone. I'm Portia Patterson-Hurst, and I am the director for strategic partnerships at Black Girls Create.
Yay!
Also, book reviewer. Forget to mention that. I am also that.
Contributor, frequent.
Yes. Oh, well, yes. That is true.
You go here now. It doesn't. It just like rolls in.
She's a frequent contributor, though.
She fixed her mouth at Leaky Con to say that she sometimes contributes.
I do remember that.
Our frequent book reviewer. She'd been our book reviewer for like years at that point. She said, sometimes. Infrequent contributor.
She contributes more than any of the rest of us to the actual website.
Seriously.
So Nicole says that Portia's gonna take us to church.
It's Sunday.
It is Sunday. That is true.
I have my brunch drink.
Okay. Okay, with the fancy. All right.
So Bayana's making this elaborate drink. It's not that elaborate, but she was, mincing ginger.
Well, I was gonna have a mimosa, but we don't have champagne, so I had to.
She improvised things. And then I walk in there and I make coffee, and our aunt was like, "Well, this is a interesting party you guys are going to."
But Robin would always bring a coffee to a party. That's Robin's MO.
Brunch, I would be double fisting a coffee and a mimosa. I don't do one without the other.
She said, "Get you a girl who could do both."
Boom.
So if y'all are out here, y'all know what it is. We already tweeted about it, but thanks to a generous supporter, any contributions to our house cup that's going on, which y'all should know what it is, but if y'all don't, we have a house cup right now. We met our original fundraising goal. We were trying to raise $500 for a 5-year birthday, but we reached that and passed it. So now for the rest of May, 50% of all the contributions we make, we're donating to We Need Diverse Books. But when you contribute, you earn points for your house. So you name drop your house, or if you don't, some of y'all already be knowing, so I just give your house points anyways.
My cousin tried to give an anonymous donation, and Delia's like, "Does anyone know who this is and what house. And I was like, she doesn't even know what house she's in, but I have sorted her long ago.
Yeah, because I was pretty sure. I was like, I recognize that name. I feel like it's somebody's family. So I asked. But yeah, so right now we're matching up to $100 for the live stream, probably the rest of the day too, if we don't hit that $100. So you'll earn your house points double. That's double points. And let me tell you right now, hold on, let me pull it up because
Pull it up,
all right?
Because there's 4 of y'all in here, and it's
Look
just
it, look it, look
Hufflepuff, and we're ahead. Now I need the Hufflepuffs watching and listening.
No.
Do not.
Ravenclaws come up in here.
Taking money out the
It's Ravenclaw's time.
Right.
Look, we are now at, it's okay. I'll give you the standings. So Hufflepuff is still first at 460 points. Ravenclaw is in second. We've had a surge lately. We have 400 points, my dudes. 400. It's right there. We could just take it. We had an early lead. We let them. We slept on it a little bit. We were just trying to let them have some fun. But now it's time to take it back. There's matching points. There's no reason. And then we have Gryffindor at 195. And Slytherin's been straight sleeping. They're at 85 points. So I don't know. I don't see it for them.
Slytherin should try to aspire to be a Ravenclaw or Hufflepuff right now. That's
True.
Wow, Slytherin has to aspire to be a Hufflepuff. Crazy.
So that's the standings. And I'm just saying there are matching points right now. Like, I can't do nothing about it. Like, that's not my place. But y'all out there, I'm not campaigning.
Slytherins. We have so much Slytherin representation.
I don't know.
Black. Where'd they go?
I don't know. I think so. My thoughts. I'm not trying to give them ideas, so Slytherins cover your ears. But my thoughts are that they're like plotting in the background as Slytherins are wont to do, and then like right at the last minute, once they see where the standings are, they're going to calculate what they got to do, and then like on May 29th and 30th, like the last few days, they're just going to be like cha-ching, cha-ching, and then we're all going to lose. But I'm hoping that's not the case. I mean, for BGC, I hope that's the case.
Right.
As a Ravenclaw, I hope that's not the case.
For us, and we need diverse books. We would love for that to be the case.
Yes. Right.
And keep every 1 point is $1 is 1 point. So if you don't got it, you just give us $5. That's 5 points. That's good. That's like answering a question in McGonagall's class.
If you give us $5 right now, it's $10.
See, like it doesn't even have to be big. We appreciate any and all contributions, but I'm saying like you got to use that Ravenclaw logic. $2 is $4 now. $10 is 20. I'm just saying, like.
Did she say strategery?
I did say strategery.
Strategery and the dancery. That's what we were trying to.
Can someone remind me, anyone, what strategery is from? Is that a Colbert thing? Like Colbert?
I thought you made it up just now.
No, I did. I'm very clever.
You are a Ravenclaw, so.
Okay, so as we're going along, guys, if you want to give it up for your house, paypal.me/WeBlackandNerds. In the notes, put your house, or we will
just put Hufflepuff.
Yeah, I mean, I try if I know, or I'll find you on Twitter if I know, if you've forgotten. But like, we do have quite a few contributions we've gotten that are just houseless that I'm keeping track of. They're not in the point system, but
they're Ravenclaws.
See, I'm an honest Ravenclaw. I'm going on record. There are contributions we've gotten, and I haven't given them a house, but maybe we'll Dumbledore it up at the end, and then those can go to the winning house.
All right. So Kay's over here talking about stop giving them the math. She's like, help them. All right. So, we have that going. And now we're going to, a reminder to send in questions. Any questions that pop up in your head, throw them in the chat,
Well, any questions?
Yeah, any questions. That don't mean we're going to answer them, but if you got a question,
you can ask them.
You can ask it.
We might not read it, but
right.
So act right in there, and y'all know.
I mean, do what you're going to do, and know that we were going to do what we were going to do, which is possibly either
nothing.
completely ignore that question or laugh at you and still not answer. But ask any question that you want.
I believe in y'all for the most
Yeah,
part.
I'm not too worried.
I do. I believe in y'all.
It can be out of pocket as long as
they also know who we are. They know what we're going to answer.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there's a difference between out of pocket and inappropriate, and out of pocket and appropriate. So I'm sure y'all be out of pocket,
I got
Also
an
sure
email.
that you'll be appropriate.
I got an email from Imani, and he hit all of those. Like,
As he's want to do.
He was like, "How about one from each category?"
Also, there's 5 of us. There's 5 different pockets. You know, one person's pocket, someone else's not pocket. We'll see.
That's true.
Very
There's
true.
levels to it.
Very true.
That is true.
So let's kick off. I want to ask you guys, like, just thinking about this particular year. We're talking May to May. Don't get stuck on the nonsense that has been 2020. But
I can't remember what happened this year.
Right. Well, we're gonna try.
Yeah.
Just highlight something that we did, something that BGC was a part of that was like really sticks out to you in your memory. I want to know. So I'll go first.
Okay, just from the year.
Yeah, from May to May.
From May to May. Okay.
Wait, okay. Time is a construct, and
well, I'm just saying, don't pull something out from like.
Got it. Okay.
2012.
Well,
I mean, that's
we weren't
I was gonna say we wouldn't.
I don't know math.
That one time when I was like in high school, I wasn't in high school. In college, and I was like, "Yo, that thing doesn't exist." That was tight.
My thing was we had talked about doing. I love conventions, and we can. I love conventions. Is weird to say. I love a lot of parts about conventions. I love panels.
Yeah.
I love hearing from people. I love like being on panels, being in the audience for panels. I love just hearing people's opinions and how their minds work. So our Kumba Kickback series, but specifically the Black Girls Fantasy Worlds, because I wasn't on there. I had nothing really to do with it besides live tweeting it. So hearing like Bayana and Portia and all of these authors talking about their books, talking about their like thought process in writing, talking about just like the industry of publishing, I guess, and what it's like to be a Black girl, thinking about fantasy worlds in this world that is a dystopia. It was really fun and it was great. And it was one of those things where it really, like, as I was watching it, I was like, yo, this is something that we talked about. And like, Bayana could pull out, she found her notebook, y'all, from 5 years ago. Like, this is something that I was like really wanting to happen, and we did it, and it was great. And it was online because we can't leave our houses, but also very much us. Like,
yeah. I mean, also,
the fact that
that
like,
was planned before.
that was planned, yeah, right? Like,
so.
we were talking about like digital panels because of who we are as people and because of logistics and everything. And then it just all kind of, it reminded me of when we started Wither Team, and like all of a sudden all this like Harry Potter was like this wasteland of news and the fandom was living in its own little world. We started Wither Team, and then it was like Harry Potter everywhere, and the timing was really great. So that's my highlight of this year.
Yeah. Mine is similarly the Kumba Kickback, but mostly because I felt like it was the culmination of like all the things that we do, or like a good kind of like showcase of all the things that we do. Because I felt like every panel had just a certain aspect of Black Girls Create, and the fact that we were able to like do that and pull that off, and it was super fun, was really cool. I feel like, yeah.
To change gears, because I was gonna say, y'all, we did like 4 or 5 conventions last year, like May through like October, and I think I'm still tired from it. So
Yeah.
We'll never do it again.
No.
there was that. But since Robin already talked like convention stuff, and you know that's the thing we did, and it was actually kind of more exhausting than like than anything else. I will say our quick quill sprints are a thing we've started in the last year, and those have been really fun. And I have only pretended to write once.
No,
Oh, it's
our
honesty
first
hour
quick
on the live stream.
Yeah, honesty here.
Our first quick quills, I was supposed to be doing it, but I had to work late. Like, it was one of those things where I didn't plan to work late, but I ended up working late. And I got home, and Luna was looking at me like, I'm about to
That's
wreck
right.
your world. I'm about
that did
tear
happen.
shit up. I was at a dog park, like.
But it's been
cool though that like we don't all have to be doing the thing that we're
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's enough
Right.
of us that we don't all have to be on it all the time.
right. But I really like what they mean for our brand, and that so many people have been participating, and I'm really excited for them. So that's really great.
Mine. So probably it's hard to say. I like it's difficult. I feel like we did. Oh, I gotta pick one. I'm split between two. Can I say both?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So first, probably I'd have to go with LeakyCon Dallas, which now seems like 10 years ago, but I realized that was like in this year time frame.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like but also Boston because we actually had a merch booth. But I'm gonna say LeakyCon Dallas just because I feel like that's some of the best responses we've gotten to our like live content, like our in-person panel content, and like yeah, I just feel like it really validates what we're doing and what we have to say, even if spaces we have these conversations in don't. The people like the content, and our content is worthwhile, and we'll take it to places where it's valued. But but also then off of that, going into 2020 and 2020's Black Wizard History Month, I loved. I thought it was amazing. We had so many contributors this year, and just seeing, and not even like the contributors, the quality of contribution, like not saying like we've always had good quality contributions, but when you see like, oh wow, we've actually hit this many numbers, you would think that some of them are just like, I don't know, just like that's a lot of contributions. Some of them got to be done, but they were all fire, and it was just like, what is this community? What do we have? Like who are y'all? Honestly, like
Especially from a lot of first time, like,
yes, and that's the thing. There were a
Yeah.
lot of like, and they were all up in January, some of December. These people were up in our Slack community, like, oh, I don't know if I could write, y'all. Like, I just don't know. And then February comes because I'm not reading. Like, the only people who read them before are Biana and Connie. Like,
and only sometimes. That's
yeah.
Biana,
I mean, and sometimes they're like only one of them's got it, but like sometimes they'll be like. They'll drop teasers like, oh, so-and-so is writing a fic about this.
That's how Stacey Ann Parseltongue came about.
They also did tell me like there's a lot of Dean
I
Miney this February.
I don't know her middle name, but Stacey Ann Parseltongue just was just like, I don't know, guys, I don't know. And then she submitted the thing, and I was just like, I'm sorry, what?
So I was excited when February came around, and then it like blew my expectations even from that out of like I just couldn't have expected it to be, especially the way y'all really talk about yourselves. Y'all got to stop that, but that's a different conversation.
It's all part of the same conversation, because that's why I said a lot of these people were first-time writers, because there are a lot of people who have not contributed to BGC yet who feel like they're not ready yet, and I just feel like y'all could just do it. Like, just do it, because you don't know. Ooh. And also, me and Biana are here. Like, not for nothing, but like, we got you.
Oh, people in the chat are like, ooh, I'm being called out. Yeah, if you feel called out, you're being called out.
I would like to say, as the person who's administering the survey, I've seen a lot of people say, I think my stuff is trash, it's not up to par, and I just need y'all to listen in right now of what's being said.
What is par?
What is par? And also get it on the page and have someone us send it, and like, we can finesse it, we can change it. You know what I mean? Like, you need a community. Also, it doesn't have to be writing. If you're like, writing's not my ministry and I want to knit. You want to draw.
I can't edit the knitting.
You can't edit the knitting, but I can also be like, that is fire.
We could be like,
drop the Etsy link.
Y'all see our community member drop this fire ass scarf.
If you knit or crochet, please make us some Black owned like merch, like some like I would love some Ravenclaw apparel and blue and bronze. Like, please give me
I got
that.
my mom out here working like she in a sweatshop for all of my Ravenclaw needs, and we can diversify that. You know what I mean? She might get arthritis in her hands, but y'all can help her.
What?
I don't know, because like
Help Robin's mom avoid arthritis. That's what she's saying.
that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Portia got me.
Wow. Okay.
I'm just and also yeah, but I think that like one of the things that I've learned too, and this has really been good for like being a part of this community and stuff, is like when we started it, me and Bianna were literally writing a post a week, sometimes more.
A post in there. Like handwritten.
And it was stressful. And I do love writing and I need to get back to it. But there was a moment when we were just like, we can't keep this up. Because also I was like, at one point I think I wrote about RuPaul's Drag Race. It had nothing to do with nothing.
Yeah.
I was just I got nothing. But then I was like, you know what? Also, I love community. I love like building it. I love talking about it. I love administering it. And like that is a way in which I can create. I can create community. I can create opportunities for people to like connect with each other. And it's not writing, but it's still like a way in which I can use all of the tools that I have that are creative to like give and like showcase that and give it to the world. So it's I just want to be like, you know, honest and let people know it's like we are a writers community first and foremost, because that's what I mean. Y'all seen Connie, Portia, Delia, and Bianna's stuff. Like we got hitters, but like there are other ways in which you can find that creativity and tap into it, and it's good for your skin. It is. That's science, Connie. Don't give me that look.
I said nothing to oppose what you had to say. I thought about it and I was like, okay.
It's good for your skin.
That's why my skin is not flourishing right now.
Because you're holding in all those projects, or just all
Yeah.
stifling
Yeah. They're like coming out in
by writing.
Of course.
Pause your pores. It's true.
Yeah.
Portia, did you say one?
No. So seconding and thirding everyone's the fantasy worlds and the con panels and all that stuff. And I guess I'll add, it was really great to do like fire whiskey chats with like Stacy and Kishana, because they're both like, we know that they're like experts in what we had fire whiskey chats in, specifically Stacy and Angelina Johnson, and being like an athletic Gryffindor, and like a Black woman and girl who grew up like enjoying Harry Potter and from a Griff perspective, which we don't have here. So it's really great to have someone who's like full Griff. And with Kishana, it was, I mean, I had moments talking about like magical germs in the podcast, and I was just like, yeah, I don't want to think anymore about this.
I really had to edit that podcast. I was like, yo. It was like maggots or something. I don't know what it was, but it was
Tapeworm, maybe? Because we were talking about magical. I was like, ooh.
I can't, like, I already couldn't go outside, but like, I really can't I can never interact
Only
with
if there was, because like, if you think about like the wizard immune system is supposed to be different and more sturdy, but like there could be a magical equivalent to some of the same parasites. And like, if there is, that's probably what Corona is. It's a magical virus that is effing up all these muggles.
Wait till Kishana comes back. Wait till Kishana comes back. She's gonna like, actually, guys.
That's what I had.
You're like, nope.
Okay, so we have a question from Brittany. Similar. What is your favorite BGC memory? And I'm going to assume that is overall.
I know mine.
Yeah.
Wait, pause.
Wizard team last January, February, last year, early last year.
Delia told you to pause.
Oh.
Just real quick. Ravenclaw's in first place,
Oh,
y'all. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Just got to do it to him for a second.
Where you at?
Where's your people confidence?
Where they be?
We taking a break.
Kind of like we've been carrying y'all this whole time.
Our backs are tired, okay?
All right, you take a little break. It's fine. We got 560 points.
We'll be holding it for a while.
It's okay.
Favorite BGC memory. There are a lot, but specifically Wizard Team at whatever time, episode 185, 186. Just the rise of Bikini has really been a delight. And it was not anything I'd ever thought would ever happen. It's not written down anywhere. It was not, even when I read the chapter beforehand to prep for it, was not expecting.
It was an off the cuff moment.
But just like the moment and then how it just
built
from there, like trolling Robin on Twitter all week. That was great. That was all of it. It like warms my, anytime I think about it, and like when people ask us about like when we get interviewed for Wizard Team things, like that's always the moment where I'm like, that right there. I don't like everything else is great. That specifically. My grandmother last quarantine was talking about, because our my cousin, who's like, well, really it's her cousin's daughter, listens to our podcast and is like we've known them for a minute. And so they listen to our podcast. And so we're talking to my grandmother about it. And so we, at Kwanzaa, she was like, I want to listen to your podcast. And I was just like, and really because of that, like specifically, I was like, I don't know, like it's fine, but I just, and I think she's forgotten, so because I haven't.
or she listened and was just like, okay, this isn't for me.
But she doesn't know how to find a podcast.
Yeah.
So that part, I would have to find it.
I put our podcast on our aunt's phone. Like when we first started, it was what it said on the tin. We were just reading the chapters. Yeah. We didn't really have a community. Y'all weren't in the chat acting foolish. And then it grew, and like she listened for a while, and then she stopped it up. She never read the books anyway. One time she was like, I'm at the gym and I almost fell off the treadmill because Bianca cursed. And I was like, yeah, that's a scar from that, auntie.
Yeah.
You know.
I didn't really care.
Yeah.
My grandma?
No. Wait. She made it through penis, but she couldn't take Bianca cussing.
Well, she knows.
She knows. Like, she is me.
Yeah, I was going to say.
We are each other.
Yeah. We didn't grow up, like most of the times when I would go visit her, like they still think I'm like 19. Like
no, they think you're 6.
They think, yeah, every time I pick up a drink, her mom be like, yo, and I'm like, I'm 26. It's fine. I promise. So yeah, it's just because I'm younger.
And I've always
and she's always been doing all that.
What's that called? Tourette's of the mouth. My favorite BGC memory. When we Googled how far it was from Romania from London to Romania or whatever, that was great. I think honestly, it was like our second. It was the first LeakyCon Dallas, and we had our meetup, and then I think it was us, like the squint. We went to dinner, like right afterwards, and it was just like one of the things that we like left, and it wasn't the same night as the ball. I think it was the same night as the ball. I think, not 100% sure. And we just like dipped and went to dinner and then hung out, and ever since then, like the first con I ever went to, I think it was LeakyCon. It might have been LeviosaCon, and it was LeviosaCon. I was by myself, and they had a ball, and I went to the ball, and I was like, wow. But I was like, oh, it's because I'm by myself. And then we went to the ball in Dublin, and I was like, wow. But I was also like, we're in Dublin. You know,
I was tapped out.
We were tired because we were on staff at that point too. So I was like, this is just interesting.
It's like, why?
Yeah. And then we went to a third. I went to a third ball, and I was like, no, it's not. It's just this is.
And then in such denial.
I was in denial, but then it was like at a point where I was like, oh, we don't have to do this, and we can still have fun. We can have our own ball, and we could listen to music that actually has a bass in it. I don't know.
Among other
options, you know what I mean? So that was my favorite. Like, it was a slow thing, but that exact moment when I was like, oh, like I can go to these things and I can meet new people, but I also have people.
Yeah.
And we had met someone who went by herself, and then we like just folded her in, and I was like, I wish, you know, it was just great. It was that.
Mm-hmm. Someone else go, because I can't narrow it down to a moment and then not get Hufflepuff feels. And y'all are gonna be mad at me. It's just gonna be a whole thing.
His face.
I mean, this is kind of the point, but
Honestly, Connie is like our diversity and inclusion. You know, when you have like, they got like the black girl and like the Asian dude. Connie's like, Hufflepuff.
I hate you all. I am outnumbered. I am so outnumbered. Someone help me.
You're gonna be all right. You just fine.
I mean, you got half of Biana.
She's been claiming that half less and less in the last like year.
I just gotta get it out of my system, and then I'm good. You be
stewing in it,
and I'm like, I'll get it off my chest, and then I'm done. That's it. It's been said. It's over now.
Thank you, Cass. Cass is here for me. The puffs in the chat are here for me.
That's the Gryffindor. She's an outlier. Don't worry about her. Oh, Cass. I thought you said Stacey. Emotions, though. Oh, yikes.
I'm gonna keep it brief. My favorite BGC memory is that I found some of my best friends through it.
Girl, come on.
Love you, Tommy.
Love you.
I kept it brief. Move on.
Anyways, so my favorite BGC memory. First of all, I just want to go on the record. I'm big mad that Bikini happened while I was in New York. Like I was out of pocket and things were blowing up and I was like, what is going on? And like I had to be back briefed on the mess. I still participated, obviously, because it was tormenting Robin and it was the best time. But I didn't have the full context. And so that's a sore spot for me. Mm-hmm. My favorite BGC memory. I honestly probably not the Slack burning, but the fallout and the aftermath and all the jokes that came from after the burning. I was going through our drive.
Wait,
we have a drive.
My memories are the times in which Robin was in emotional turmoil. Those were my favorite time.
And that's what you get for having Ravenclaw friends, okay?
Was it not a good time?
With secondary Slytherin attributes.
Oh my gosh.
I went through our drive the other day. I don't remember what I was looking for, but I was like going through old stuff because I was sorting by pictures and I found like the tombstone we made for the Slack. It's just
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah, we were on some mess. It was a problem, but it was also hilarious. So both.
Honestly, I also forgot what the Slack burning was about. So everybody in the comments, don't ask.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't.
Basically, I was on a plane minding my own business, and
there were multiple things that were.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It wasn't like it was in a row of burns, specifically to Robin, and then.
No, the wasn't when I was on a plane. I was at work.
Yeah,
because I sent a video of myself crying,
and you were crying.
I got home from work, and I had to catch up, and then I had to send a video of myself in tears, shutting the place down.
So I literally just I was like in the kitchen. And I really had only opened my computer.
Oh my gosh!
And then I was just sitting at my kitchen counter for like 2 hours, just like crying, laughing. And my mom was like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "I don't know. Shit's going up. It's crazy. I don't even know." But
the worst part about it too was that as I'm catching up and realizing that y'all were just, putting your feet on my couch, but I lovingly paid for and bought, and you were just stomping your feet and saying "fuck F your couch," but there would be like a bunch of nonsense, and then someone would be like, "Uh-oh, I can't." When Robin gets back in here, and then another one was like, "Can't wait till Robin sees this," and then another one being like, "Ooh, we really gonna hurt Robin's feelings." And I was like, "Why are y'all still talking? Why am I still trolling? Couldn't you leave well enough alone?"
Well, to be fair, you did deliver. You delivered.
She was like replying to people in threads, and we were like, "Oh shit, it's happening!"
Robin is typing. It was a foreboding line that day. Robin is typing.
Great.
Ooh, it was the best. It was the best of times and the worst of times. Friendships were
literally-
lost, but memes were born.
But literally,
Trust
it
is
was
broken
in
forever.
it was in the Wizard. What was the channel called?
It was called
Team?
Wizard Team. Yeah.
It was called Wizard Team. We had to change.
It was called Wizard Team,
And
and
We
then
had
it
to change the name of it because it burned down.
Well, no,
But it wasn't that it burned down multiple times.
Nana came in with
And burned it
and
again.
burned it again. So I was like, all right, we're just gonna. Clearly, this is where shit.
And now it's back to Wizard Team. We've
Yeah.
wrangled it in. We've got some sense.
we have more channels
Yeah,
to.
it's Wizard
now, I mean,
now.
Does it have more sense in channel, or
No,
has Wizard Team just officially gone off the rails? Because
yeah,
True.
that part.
That bit. That
And we
part.
scattered the mess, so
Yeah.
it's easier to take. It's not so condensed into one chunk of mess. Ugh, Portia, do you have?
Oh my gosh, Bianca.
Bianca,
I've
no.
canceled Bianca. I'm so
Bianca,
sorry.
no.
Uh-oh.
She said the next time it burns, we got to change it to the borough, and I would like to kick her out for bringing that up.
There's a reason why these things happen. Comments like this are how burnings start.
Truly.
Oh man. That really had me cry laughing just remembering. Okay. So
Portia,
that's my favorite time.
We're gonna play a game.
I think my personal fave, Wizard Team wise, is like honestly being able to spread my anti-Weasley agenda through Wizard Team and various cons panels as well, but like truly owning the anti-Weasley stance and like moment. I'm trying to think of a moment. I just had one in my head and I'm like, okay.
Why do they keep?
Oh, whenever we did our photo shoot in Dallas, that was fun.
Oh, that was
Oh
fun.
yeah, that
It
was
was impromptu.
That was hilarious because people kept walking by and they're just like, "Oh, y'all are cute."
Some of them were like, they're like, somebody played like the Hedwig theme or something for a second. It was like random. I can't remember, but it was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
I
we
can't
had a
remember.
good time.
It was very I don't know. It was so random, but it was great. And then those pictures.
We literally were walking. Why did we? We were just walking back
just
to
walking
the
back.
car.
It was the light, and then there was like the
Brick.
bricks, and we
Yeah,
were
it was
like,
very magical.
and we had been talking about because when we were in Terrytown for MistyCon, we had kept talking about taking
Right.
like stock pictures. Like every time we do, especially Hogwarts VSU, and we're like looking for stock photos, and like there are more Black people stock photos depending on
But
where. But there
they're
aren't Black
corporate-
magical like
They're
things.
usually in corporate settings like
Yeah, like
Yeah.
presentation.
I was talking.
Black graduate.
yeah. So we were like, okay, we need like more magical stuff. And we didn't do it in Terrytown
Because it was hot.
as hell. So every time we thought about it, we were like,
I'm trying to go outside.
This air conditioning is really hitting right now. So when we were in Dallas, we were already outside.
It
But
was
also my
fun.
favorite Slack
Out
moment.
had to walk. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, whereas like Terrytown, everything was in the same hotel, so you didn't really have to leave.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even like a fun hotel, so we were just kind of like, okay, I guess
Yeah.
my favorite Slack moment was the day that, or a couple of days that everyone was posting gifts of each other or whatever. Like this gift,
Oh, this is
Oh,
the gift that
yeah.
defines who you are.
That's right.
that was really fun.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, post a gift that reminds you of the person.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was great.
That was a good fun time.
All right. Before we get to the next question, we're gonna play a game. Would you rather? If you guys in the chat would also like to have some would you rather, feel free to put them in there, or in Slack or whatever. And also feel free to answer these too, because we'll, shout out some of the answers. Would you rather live in the MCU or Westeros?
The what or what?
In the MCU or Westeros?
Earth 616, in which
I'd say the MCU because
Insurance
I'm sure you have
premiums are
insurance,
high.
but I'm sure you would I'm sure it would be built in at a certain point. After when did the Battle of New York happen?
2012.
2012.
After that, I feel like
As someone who lives here.
yeah, I just feel like it would have to start being included. Westeros, they don't have like real toilets. They don't have plumbing.
Yeah.
They got like
Mhm.
dragons are great, but they burn every shit to the ground. So like you can't build like
Yeah, the chat has
people. They don't clean
General
themselves.
consensus.
MCU is close enough to like now, but like
Right.
you also have to.
I don't even go there, but like literally nothing good happens in Westeros. Never has a good thing
Okay, but
happen.
here's my thought process. I could find a spot in Westeros and mind my business.
No.
You're
I
saying
don't
Westeros.
You
You're
stop.
You're not
You
saying
stopped the show too early.
our world.
Think
You're
about,
saying
like, when you're
Westeros
on the road.
specifically.
Sorry?
You're saying Westeros specifically, not Essos, not.
That's
like
true.
in the world of Ice and Fire.
I mean, in the world of Ice and Fire,
Okay.
then.
Okay,
Sorry.
because
You're right.
Westeros, you ain't getting nowhere. There's
You're
In
no
the world of Ice and Fire, let me think.
I got that's I have
Because I
harder.
could be not on Westeros, definitely would not live in King's Landing.
Never.
But I feel like you could find yourself a nice little hut. Like, yeah, you have plumbing or whatever. But you just out the way. If the
Wait,
Iron
time out. I had a thought.
it's too late.
Wait.
And they don't care. And also, and as well, the whole, like the amount of collateral damage.
Just live on Staten Island. They don't go there. It's Queens, Brooklyn, Manhattan.
Just in a part of California where they don't mess with you. Like
We're gonna be going up to the Bronx. It's fine. We don't like them there.
When I read the comics and I read Marvel comics, I love it because like literally everything is kind of housed in New York. And I can think of like 2 or 3 comics that are set in California. It's The Runaways and like that. And they're always like, oh, you know, like, and they'll make a point to be like, oh, this is not New York. And I'm like,
I
yeah,
live in Staten Island, am I?
but
Yeah.
in the MCU, Tony Stark's ass lives in Santa Monica and like has no
He travels to New York a lot.
He's on some like, oh, my building is sustainable energy. It's like, bitch, but you drop 15 cars and however many things in the ocean and you just be Iron Legioning, blowing them up over the ocean. Like that is pollution. And that shit what was that he had in this thing that was killing him? He just kept tossing those in the garbage. There needs to be clean way to recycle.
I'm sure Jarvis was properly recycling them, okay?
AI again
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
And Jarvis leads to Ultron. And also I don't trust Jarvis's ass anyway because he's too sassy.
No, Jarvis going to recycle the oil and gasoline that comes out of the cars into the ocean. How's he going to recycle that?
Right?
Listen, I was just talking about a thing in Tony's heart, okay?
His whole house blew up.
He blew up, his whole house got blew up, and then he blew up about 50-11 of them goddamn Iron Legions, and they just fell into the ocean.
We did.
I'm not eating any fish. I love fish. I love salmon.
But they also put the inhuman, the fish oil. The fish is already
Right?
dead.
The fish is already, because then you got the, yeah, I am the environmental.
That's cold-blooded. Okay, now I really got to rethink this.
Because the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I mean, is that worse than where we live now? Is
Look.
it worse than how we live now?
Yeah, because
Yes.
turn into Inhumans. They got husks and shit crawling up on their bodies.
You can't, I have to take fish oil tablets.
But I mean, look,
This is the only thing I
if
can eat.
I became a human and I had a power afterwards, I'd be done with it.
You could have powers, or you could be fed in a hut. What are the odds?
Because seriously, no, I know what happens in the song.
I still have
I know
plumbing.
what happens in the world of a song in Ice and Fire to Black folk. There's summer
Or
island.
my man Trip, who is minding his own business.
Yes. What about Wakanda?
In his world, his grandfather was a huge goddamn hero, and he's just a
I know some Black people, and I'm a little afraid for what's going to happen next.
And then you got the framework. Fuck, nah, man. I'm in the land of ice and fire, peeing in holes.
But look,
Away
I
from
had a
that.
thought. You can pick any time in the land of ice and fire, and I'm about to be up here with the Targaryens with my dragons, like full grown
With the
in their
Targaryens?
glory days.
I live in Valyria.
That's your example, Delia.
Valyria before the doom.
Yeah, before exactly. Before we out in Valyria,
You good?
it's fine.
Well, there is no incest, so I don't know about that, but I would be chilling with some dragons in Valyria.
That's the point.
Yeah, I could
In the glory days of dragons, it was lit. Like nothing bad was happening if you had a dragon. Until you and your hubris got to you. But as long as your hubris don't get to you, you good.
But owning a dragon in Westeros, I feel like it's like being president in that, like, you just have, like, it's like being a billionaire. It's just like you can't get that access of power and treasure without like being a terrible person and having the hubris to go lead to your downfall.
In Valyria, though, like that was the land of Dragon Lords,
time
so
for the downfall.
were congregated.
Y'all were both yelling at me at the same time. I have no idea what you said.
But I was like, that'll happen overnight. Ooh, get the wrong fish overnight, you a huss.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Like, I mean, I'd rather. This is gonna sound bad.
Oh gosh.
I'd rather be a fantastical billionaire than like be in the ocean looking like Blair Underwood. You know what they did?
But I'm also saying this, Valeria was the land of dragon lords. So everyone had a dragon there. It wasn't like it was like, oh, you're only a special one. Like everyone had dragons. Like sure, there was probably like a serving class or whatever, but like for the most part, everyone had dragons.
Yeah.
But sometimes, you know.
I mean, they colonize the people in the MCU too. Okay,
And in Westworld.
we're moving on. Would you rather live in Agrabah, which is Aladdin's place?
We know.
Aladdin's home. I don't know, man. I'm just, letting everyone know. Or the Pride Lands with Simba and them.
Yikes.
Nah, Agrabah. That's easy.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to be eaten because I'm gonna be like a gazelle or something. I'm not trying to get eaten for the circle of life.
Yeah, if you're human.
Kelly, why did I look at you and was like,
Ooh, instead of Pride Lands, how about where Mowgli at? I would want to be where Mowgli and Baloo are.
No.
the jungle?
Yeah.
No.
Because also they're like close enough. Mowgli gets lost or whatever, and he gets kidnapped by tigers or whatever. But he can still he goes back into civilization after a while, and his best friend is a bear.
I mean, the music is lit.
Ooh, if my best friend was a bear, I'd be like, "Who are you talking to, bitch? My best friend is a bear." Let's go.
That's
But
the
who are you talking to
Californian.
because you're out in the wild with other
I'm
animals?
climbing up a tree and being like, "Baloo, you got it. Go get him." I'm gonna be a tough man.
Plus, then I gotta be with them like beetle vultures or whatever those. They were like the Beatles, but not really. Like,
Yes. I forgot with the full haircut.
yeah, we good.
I don't know how mosquitoes do me. No, I'm gonna say no to all
I'm
of it.
best friends with a bear. I doubt. Like, let him.
No.
What does it mean?
I'm a
I'm
dragon.
a-
Not doing it.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I just made that up. but
I'm gonna cook you up and feed you to Baloo.
You don't really- Never mind.
I don't know, man.
Bianca says, think of the giant spiders in the Jungle Book.
That I currently live in a world with an incompetent, bumbling fool for a king, fake king. I don't want to go there.
I mean, you're already there.
That's what I'm saying. I'm already there. I'm not trying to go to another one. I don't trust the land. I think the genies are like the magical AI. I don't trust them either. They all with their wordsmithing and shit.
Cass says mosquitoes are nothing until you catch malaria. Now you've never seen my mosquito bites, so I'm gonna need you to roll back, okay?
Can you be allergic to mosquitoes? Because I think
yes, you can be.
My mosquito bites not only are
like,
huge, but linger for months.
Yes, it me. Mm-hmm.
And I'd be like, "Yo, leave me alone. We obviously don't get along." Like,
Yeah.
they
get along to us because they're eating good.
Well, my personal thought is like, there's like the thing with like bee stings when like certain bees, if they sting you, then they die immediately once they lose their stinger. My personal thought is that I am like one of those sweet nectars for mosquitoes, and I like look good. I'm poisonous to them assholes, and so it's, you know what I mean? Like they get me, but I got them too.
I hope that's the case, but the amount of mosquito bites that I've had at one time, I don't know about that.
I'm like, personally, this quarantine is suiting me just fine. The weather's getting nicer, and I'm like, I'm not going outside.
I've sneezed like
outside. My body gets bitten up, and I don't even know how. I'll be covered. I'll have like on a jacket. I'll have on pants. Somehow the mosquitoes just
get you.
They just get me, and then it'll be like January the next year, and people will be like, "What happened to your leg?" It was mosquitoes.
Mm-hmm.
When did that happen? In the fall.
Oh, no.
I'm not allergic, I don't think, but hyperpigmentation is real. Like I get a mosquito bite and like I'm gonna see that stuff forever.
Mm-hmm. I remember once I got bit by mosquitoes and I had them I got bit in my face, which was a new thing of yikes. But I also got bit because I hate shoes, and I got bit on my feet and on the ink, that thin part of
Oh,
your
the
feet.
ankle. The ankle bites are the worst.
And I was like, you know what? Cut the foot off. It's cool.
I got bit on the eyelid once, and I was like,
I got bit on the eyelid at least 3 summers in a row.
I got bit not too long ago on my nostril.
That wasn't a
Yeah.
mosquito.
It wasn't a mosquito, but it was literally, I was like, yo, what?
She was
Yeah.
outside for like 5
I
minutes.
was like 5 minutes and it was hot. And I was like, my nose will bleed if it's too hot and humid. So I went inside and then my nose got real like dry and it started to get like really sensitive. So I was like, let me go inside before this like torrential downpour happens. And then I was like, wait, yo, and my one nostril. And I was like, I think I got bit on the nose. And Diana looked up and she goes, oh yeah.
I was like, you that's crazy.
On the nostril.
Wild.
Rude.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know how we got into mosquitoes from
because
that,
Jungle
but
Book.
apparently most of y'all want to live in Agrabah. Would you rather work at Dunder Mifflin or the Pawnee Parks Department?
Pawnee Parks Department.
And I already know what it is. It's got to be.
I mean, the thing
I mean,
is,
I don't want to work at either.
I don't know enough about Pawnee, but like I also don't want to work at Dunder Mifflin.
DJ Roomba.
Unless I'm like,
Yes.
I can work at Dunder Mifflin somewhere else.
No, I'm gonna work at Dunder Mifflin. Stanley ain't doing nothing. That's an easy job.
You don't really have to. I mean, yeah, that's true. As long as you don't care about the job.
Yeah, he's chilling.
Michael coming in and distracting you, you're like, it's cool. I wasn't trying to sell paper anyway.
I wasn't.
I was just here.
But
Pawnee got too much to do.
And that's like annoying. And also, I don't like anybody there except for probably Stanley. Probably the only person I would hang out with in the office.
But they play board games at Dunder Mifflin. It's mad dysfunctional.
People create board games in Parks and Rec.
Right?
Cool.
The Colts of Dunder
They're doing too much. They're doing too much. I'm not trying to.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I know what you're missing.
As somebody who already works for the government, like, nah, I'm good. Dunder Mifflin.
But you get all of these binders with different color-coded folders because Leslie Knope is the truth.
Right. Like I'd only work for the Pawnee Parks Department if Leslie Knope was my boss because she would do all of the work.
Yeah,
with her whenever she advances up the rank, she's already got a spots for you in the higher end government. So you never have to worry about being stuck in your little small town. You're always going to get advanced.
Yeah.
I rewatched The Fight last week and then like the episode after, which whose name I can't remember because it's the episode after the fight in which Ben and Leslie kiss for the first time. That's out. The title of that episode is the one where Ben and Leslie finally kiss. And she goes on that road trip to Indianapolis and Tom is like, the boss is gone, it's playtime. And Ron's sitting there like, I'm right here. And, Leslie's gone, we're playing.
And Ron's like, I don't care. Okay, go ahead.
The problem with Dunder Mifflin is like when Michael's gone, it's not like things get better. People
They
get
do
more
because
work
he's gone. You get your work done.
People get more work done, but like Dwight is still out here on some bullshit. Like they got too many people who are like wild.
Yeah,
I'm fine. You
But,
can
like,
ignore dysfunction.
I don't. Yeah, I'm like I guess Dunder Mifflin because that's the one I know. Like
You would thrive at Pawnee though.
You would.
The Parks Department.
Yeah.
You
You
would.
and Leslie Knope would be
Like
a
this.
force to be reckoned with. Oh my god.
because they have the same organization, but like
Absolutely.
Leslie has like the energy, and then
Yes.
you got that, and then
Bayana would balance her.
Bayana
It would
has
be-
Stanley's facial expressions for everyone.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Tom would come in like, I got an idea, and Bayana would give him that side eye, and it was quite Okay. Last one, and then we'll go through some more questions from the chat. This one is great. I'm really proud of this one. Would you rather only write and like only write one book? You finish it and you can't write anymore. You write one book ever, or you can write multiple books, but in the same universe with the same characters over and over and over again.
Wait. Can I write other stuff and just not publish it?
No, you write one book.
Oh, well, the
Or
same
you- like-
universe. That's easy. That's what fan fiction is. I got it.
you know how big my universes are?
Characters.
Well, yeah,
That's
but you have a lot of side
annoying.
characters. You can be like, oh, well, this is about.
She's
them
about
now.
to George R.R. Martin it.
say nothing. Say less.
What if you keep on the same characters that could be
How successful is this one book?
right?
That money has nothing to do with it. Who says it even gets published? Who says any of these things get published? It's about the writing, Constance.
No, I mean, yeah, I do.
I fall in love and out of love with ideas too quickly to be writing one book for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I mean, this requires me to finish something to have it published, and that's kind of hard.
Okay. I thought that was going to be more difficult.
It is for me. I haven't answered yet.
Different ideas. So the idea of like you can sorry, you got to go back to
in real life. In real life, I don't want to like do that where I'm only in the same universe all the time, unless I get like a real like idea. But in this scenario, like there are a lot of characters that don't get enough like screen time because they're not the main characters. So if I get more time, like.
Y'all don't ever watch Avatar and wonder what the captive guy's up to?
Either like now, this person got a backstory.
I wanted it to be more enclosed than that, so it would be the same. Like, yeah.
I feel like I have no answer because the only thing that I've written and published online is Hogwarts PSU, which is all in the same universe, and I still haven't finished the Blazer Race story. That I finished it. I just have to edit it, whatever. But like, I don't know.
Yeah, Nicole says the MCU and Marvel is one universe. Okay, I should have worded this differently.
It was a valiant effort of a question.
I feel like y'all knew what I was getting at, and you just circumvented me by semantics, which I love a good semantic, so I'll take it.
I thought we answered it, and I felt like I answered it correctly. Just stay in that universe. We gonna write about. Remember that guy she ran into while she was running to go hug the main character? Yeah, well, we gonna have a book about that guy now. Yeah. What's he up to?
Oh my gosh.
That's what romance novels do, and I always hate it because I'm like, well, I want to know more about that one couple. They're like, nah, her friend that came to the party once. Mm-hmm. She's main character now. And I'm like, well, what happened to, did they fight? Are they happily ever after? Everyone is answering in the chat. I've lost.
Thank you, Lyric. The money is the real question. You got to add that element for me to have a proper answer.
That's
if you write one book and it's really successful, and you can't write anything else, but you can write multiple books and publish them, and they kind of get like 3-star, 2-star ratings. That's a different kind of question.
And at the same time, it's like you can't publish it any more books, but who's to say you couldn't have a name, a pen name, and then publish it?
Okay, so the next question comes from Kay. How can we help plan a future BGC meetup? LeakyCon was so fun, yet so far behind us.
I mean, first, folks gotta get vaccinated.
Right.
Yeah.
So, in terms of an in-person meetup, first things first, Rona can't come. So we gotta get to a place in which we are
Rona is not invited.
100% sure that coronavirus will not gate crash our meetup. I think the thing is that everyone is in different places. We have kind of hubs, you know what I mean? Like we can tell from the Slack, like how many, we got a lot of people in Texas. We got a lot of people in New York area. We have people in California, but California is freaking huge. Yeah. So,
and honestly, when you live in the New York area, I just saw a friend that also lives in Harlem. I haven't seen her in 2 months, and not just because of the Rona.
Yeah, right. But even still, for an event, if you're going to do a meetup, you can, take the hour on the train or whatever. Yeah. But if
we can't say, we're doing a meetup in Oakland, like Nicole's not coming to that.
Nicole, yeah. I mean, well, we don't know.
I mean, maybe
Nicole is her own piece, but
with enough planning,
that's
like not everybody.
That's a 9-hour drive, and a $100 flight. So, I think that the thing that we loved about conventions and meetups like that is because everyone was going to the same spot anyway. I would love it. And it's happened a couple of times where people just in similar spots meet up by themselves and they plan it and they do that. And maybe we can figure out a way in which we all plan a meetup and then we Zoom in together, so people are in their own spots, and then we have like a call or something. But yeah, it's difficult because of logistics. But I would say if you know people who are in your area and you want to plan a meetup, like do that and like reach out to the Squint and we'll help in any way we can. But in terms of like a larger thing, I can't even think about it because all I'm thinking about is like you all got masks.
We're in a different reality. It's so strange, but
yeah. Even the idea of the.
I mean, in Texas, y'all can meet up if y'all want to make the drive because Texas is open because they're stupid. So y'all
don't do that unless it's
obviously don't do that. I would not. Even if I was still in Texas, I would not be going out. Like,
but I have friends who live in the DC, Virginia area, and they're wild. Like they're quietly just like having birthday parties for the past like 3 weeks, and I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, like. Went to this friend's birthday party 2 weeks ago. Someone else.
It's wild out here. I went out yesterday.
Y'all are doing a lot.
They're like, gathering
people, so it's fine.
My neighbors were having a cookout the other day, and they're black, so like I don't even know. Like DC does not care.
Same. I live right next to a park. I'm not in the room where you can see. I live right beside the park in an athletic park. It's like a track and field and stuff. People are playing soccer without masks. They're just playing soccer. Black people playing soccer without masks. And I'm just like, I don't know.
We went to the lake the other day and there were people out. It was much more.
It was less.
It was less people than it would be on like a day like that. And
just because that's like where people like work out.
Yeah, that's where people work out. That's where I used to have like a gorilla dog park there. So I would go out there multiple times a day so that Luna could hang out and play with her friends. Luna got more friends than I do because, you know, that makes sense. And there were people out, but it was less, but it was still like we were walking with Ami and it was like I would see someone coming and I would see Ami not paying attention. And I'd be like, move.
Yeah.
And
like, literally, I just like had to keep grabbing her or I'd like have my arm around her so she would just like, because she likes hugs. So I'd just be like, here, we're just gonna have a prolonged hug as we walk down the street because you won't get out of the way of other people.
But like that, yeah, just that whole, even just walking that lake that I walked a bajillion before, it was so stressful.
Yeah.
So
even with our masks and like
with our mask on.
Yeah, it's stressful going outside.
With my foggy glasses.
Yep. Okay,
it's not when Corona's done. Just hit us up. Let us know what y'all want to do and
and also, who's to say there aren't some inklings of things that we're not already thinking about, but just Corona's just not that one to play with right now.
2020 is shot. I am so mad about it, but whatever.
Yeah.
But Kay, it was not a dumb question. It was a good question because it is something we've wanted to do and we haven't figured out how to do it outside of like the leakies, which is, you know, we would like it to be outside of that. And then Lyric was talking about, you know, BGC con things and, you know, we got some things.
I will just say, I mean, I'm not going to say never, but like a convention is most likely not going to happen.
No. Lyrics was digital.
No, I know, but Nicole also said like later and people like earlier.
Okay.
Higher.
That's
not happening because that's like that's not the same as like us going to cons and being on panels. Like that's a logistics thing and like I've done that kind of event coordinating.
People don't understand.
Really want to do it again.
I love
not for something like this because it's something that we like. It's fine to do it for things that like I don't care about because then I'm doing all the because I like coordinating shit. Like that's my jam.
Right.
Spreadsheets, like all that. I like doing that, and I'm like professionally, that's something that I have done and do. But for something that I actually like, I wouldn't want to do that because then
you don't get to participate.
I wouldn't get to do anything. I just have to be running around in the back end, and that's not fun if people are talking about.
Amani Heron. Amani.
Shady.
Amani, be quiet. Get out. Get out.
Shady.
Get out. Not allowed in here.
Yeah, no. Shut up, Amani.
Shut up.
But yeah, but as far as like digitally, like we have lots of ideas for that because that's easy because we can just do this kind of thing and that makes it easier. But like in-person convention is more than likely not.
It's not easy. It's much easier.
It's easier. Sorry. It's easier in that like we don't have to be like we can actually be on the things that
we don't have to have.
It's a lot of work, but we can also do the fun part
Participate.
of it, not just the
Yeah.
like the
Planning part.
Yeah. Because let me tell you, if you've ever had to get talent from one spot to another spot at a convention and then think that you're going to be doing anything else besides, you know, funny idea, you know, stopping Lin-Manuel Miranda from walking around Broadway Con like he's not Lin-Manuel Miranda. I'm just saying, like, there's things that take a lot more of your attention and your time.
you don't get to like nerd out.
And you
with your
don't get to
friends,
nerd
and
out.
You don't get to like, yeah.
So yeah, a BGC convention is not in the cards. Nothing that any of us like want to do, but we do want to continue to go to conventions. So I'll like go into Nicole's other question, which is how can we help plan, or sorry, how do we get y'all to do more cons and panels? And that is really
Honestly and truly.
speaking up, telling like
Yeah.
if you know of a con and like letting them know that we are the kind of talent that you want to see there, and like cons and just also changing the ways in which conventions help outlets like us get to their cons and provide content. Donating a lot of what will, you know, not this year, but usually around like our last couple of fundraisers, a lot of the money that we raised during May, we use to help like offset costs. It doesn't offset everything, obviously, because hotels are, but let me tell you,
They're so expensive.
convention in Boston,
Yo, it was wild.
that ish was so expensive
Mhm.
that we and a lot of conventions we lose. We're spending money to go to
It's
the
just hemorrhaging, yeah.
and a convention in a place like Boston, we were literally hemorrhaging money to go to
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
And we had a merch. We were selling merch. Like that doesn't, mean that
Yeah.
we're making our money back at all.
Yeah,
We definitely lost money in going right now going to conventions is a losing venture for us. It's valuable because we want it, like we enjoy going into these spaces, having these conversations, meeting you guys, meeting new people like we do at every convention, and them coming to us. But it's very expensive. Like it's the most expensive thing we do. And
even,
like we would love to be in a
someday-
place. Essentially, we'd love to be in a place where we could comfortably do it. And if Rona hadn't come and just like shot down this con season, we were trying. Our plan was to better divvy out our resources as like the squint, and so we would have been at more conventions individually, or maybe just a couple of us rather than all of us each time. So we could.
Because
get
remember,
more.
we're literally across the country from each other. So
We still wouldn't have been able to cover all the costs, but we would have been able to spread out the money more favorably so that we could do more, basically. But that didn't happen. And even still, we would love to be in a place like there are other similar communities that are, they get backing from the convention, so they're better able to financially make those decisions. So that's part of speaking up, but also it would just be great if we could be in a place where it didn't cost us money to do that. And then we could go do whatever conventions we wanted, and we wouldn't have to be like, well, I'm already in DC, so we'll go do this. Or, we could actually go to the conventions we just want to go to regardless of location and stuff like that. That's a far off dream, but that's the goal. So
there are layers to participating in conventions, and one of the easier things that you guys can do to help us beyond, because giving money is dependent on a lot of different factors, and we understand that, but letting organizers know that not only do you appreciate our programming, but that we deserve to be not even compensated, but like just break even. We deserve to like not be hemorrhaging money to do it.
And a lot of the smaller cons that we would love to go to, we also recognize that they may not have that for every. Like there's no way, no con can afford to fly out and hotel every piece of talent that they bring to the convention. And obviously a lot of that talent is the celebrities that they get in to do that. So a lot of cons likely lose that kind of money too. So it's really a tough balance of like trying to figure out like what cons work for us and our brand and who on the team can go to them, but also like can the con at all provide either, a way for us to break even in terms of like them supporting us, but that's hard for a lot of the smaller cons that we would love to go to and help out because they're also community driven and like small based, but also like, or is there some other like gain that we get from this, from attending this community, from attending this like convention community? So it really like depends on those things, but we also have to like submit for all those new cons that we go to, or we're trying to go to this year. We have to submit our panels and stuff, and if they don't know who we are, they're not gonna like see our names on the list of all the thousands of people who probably submit content and pick us, because we're trying to get to a place where people know who we are more. So that's definitely a way you guys can help us out.
And also shout out to the sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and so because sometimes they won't know who we are, which is fine. And if they accept only one of our panels, then it's like, okay, is this cost effective for us to do after all? If we're only going to have the one panel, then who should go? It's just a lot of logistical stuff, but basically shout us out, hit up conventions you want to see us at, and also hit us up because sometimes we just don't know what's out there.
Yeah. I also wanted to take this moment to shout out the HPA because we were able to to have a tiny piece of their booth at Boston. Yeah. And like I said, we were hemorrhaging money when we went to LeakCon Boston, but like being able to sell merch really helped. And this is in general for like everybody that tables when you go to conventions and you're looking at like the marketplace and stuff. Those just being able to afford the table on the floor costs a lot of money.
A lot of money.
Businesses like we could never afford to pay to have a booth and do the things that we were doing. So this is just like for people who don't realize, like the people that are. It's not like you just are able to go and set up a table and then start selling your stuff. Like you have to pay to be there, and a lot of times that
like in the several thousands. I think often like 10,000s. Like that, it's a lot, guys. For anyone who doesn't know.
It's not just it's not like for the overall, like you can pay for the overall con for the booth sometimes, but it also is like taken into grant, like you're paying for the multiple days while you're paying for the overall booth for those days. So it's
stay there and
then you have to
like your merch and maybe have employees so that you can have breaks and stuff, that kind of stuff. Yeah. It's a lot.
It's a lot. For a lot of the booth spaces, for a lot of people, they don't actually make money, or maybe they'll break even is the goal. It's more about, it's like to get the word out and to meet people, which again, we'd love to do because it's a great, even just sharing a booth space with the HPA. We met so many Potterheads of color that we would not have met otherwise. Cause we meet a lot of people doing panels, but it's such a quick turnaround having to get in and get out. And so sometimes it's just like, hi, bye. We got to run to across the convention center. Yeah.
Shouting our brand across the convention floor.
But like doing the booths, we're able to actually talk to people. So lots of facets. Usually it's just money or a convention helping us out, but by way of y'all shouting us out and saying, hey.
But that's all the fact that like we were planning to go to cons this year before.
We had a whole list. It's and like slowly as Rona has evolved, we've been crossing them out. It's been sad.
Or like if any of them work out and they're digital and we can like share that with everyone and everyone can join us for those, that'd be great. And like to like actually give us those extra views and get people to be like, oh no, this is like we actually want to see this stuff more. We want to see them at this con more. So if those things are accepted and it happens, then we'll definitely share that out with everyone.
Also, our Kumbha kickbacks are still on YouTube. So if you want to share those around, be like, we do this, we can like facilitate this kind of content easily on our own. Like, conventions knowing that we have that experience is also really helpful. Just
so the girl who's on the main stage at New York Comic Con.
I'm hearing in these questions that people are like, they want to do panels too. So depending on capabilities and like availability, possibly that can be something to consider, is doing like a con, but I don't know. Like it's a lot to organize.
Yeah. And even like small things where you go and you see like a one-day con at a library or something like that still takes a year to plan and put together. I've worked at bigger cons, I've worked at smaller conventions, I've worked at well-run conventions, I've worked at let's not get into it. But like all of those things, it takes time. It takes time for a badly run convention to run badly. It takes time for it takes more time and more like competence for a well-run convention of any size. But like even just like when you pull up and you see these things, they look like glorified garage sales almost. Like that is a lot. It's even
a lot for a con to not happen. A lot of planning and time, and then they kind of sometimes still don't happen. So
we ain't trying to be like that for sure.
For sure.
Oh, man.
All right,
anyway,
so
answer any of your questions.
Just shout us out. We appreciate that. If you have money to give it. But y'all are here, so y'all are probably already real ones. We already see it. Keep doing what you're doing, but also let us know if there are other cons that you know about that we don't.
And if you want to get more involved in cons, like honestly, I submitted because I was like, cons scare me, but I'm almost an old now, and I want to do it before I become a full old. And I did it, and I loved it, and I was scared about it, but it was like really fun. So if you want to do that and you have questions, like hit us up and we can help you walk you through the process from what we know. But like, I don't think that it needs to be a BGC con for y'all to start putting your names on panels.
That goes for like everything. Like it doesn't have to be like published on our site or like you know what I mean? Like we can still help in certain ways. I mean, it depends on if it's not going on our site, obviously it depends on like our availability or whatever. But like at the same time, like we're here to also help develop creators. It's not just a like, oh, come to us so that you can publish Hogwarts BSU and Critical Companion. It's also like, we want to see you do your own things. And we want to like, if you want help with that, like hit us up. If you want us to like signal boost, hit us up. Like those are also parts of it. It's not just like publishing for us to get more clicks, if that makes sense.
I mean, you'll see a signal boost people like other creators of color and LGBTQ creators and podcasts, but like it's not limited to people who already have an audience or whatever. Like we're out here supporting creators. That's what we do.
Yeah.
All right, next game, One Gotta Go.
And y'all can come up with.
And if you guys come up with one gotta go, throw them in the chat and we can throw them up as well.
Please don't be mean. Oh my gosh, I'm scared.
This first one is very mean and very targeted.
Okay.
There's another one that is also very mean and very targeted, but we'll get to it later. First, One Gotta Go.
Oh gosh.
Arc Android, Electric Lady, or Dirty Computer. One has to go.
Dirty Computer can go.
Oh,
wow.
That's so quick.
Damn.
Yeah. It doesn't have
Android.
Yeah, give me Cindy Mayweather. I don't understand what this new stuff is. I enjoy it. Dirty Computer's very good, but the Arc Android goes, and Electric Lady has my favorite song ever on it. So title being Electric Lady.
Say Dirty Computer only because Arc Android and Electric Lady are within the same universe.
Yep.
But that's the only reason.
I don't have an opinion, but I'm shook that Connie was ready for that, actually.
Yeah, that was so quick. I would say Arc Android, and only because yeah, I know. But because I know.
No, but it's the best one. What's wrong with you?
She's upset.
There is, and I feel this about a lot of like art. You can see the growth, and you can see the ways in which they push themselves, and that doesn't take anything away from the brilliance that is Arc Android. But I can hear it a lot in like the songwriting, in the way that like there's a like
Where's Caitlin? I need Caitlin. Caitlin here. Where are they?
Electric Lady, and especially in Dirty Computer, there is like this confidence in her, like having that entire storyline thought through and having control. It's a building of confidence each time that I can hear. So
I can see that.
But have you listened to Locked Inside Go Into Faster? Like
yes, she's just talking about the she's not talking about the songs.
I'm not talking about the songs. And their songs are great. I'm talking about like there's the thing I love the most about Janelle Monáe too is that she does concept albums and she does full albums. Like one of my favorite bands, Coheed and Cambria, they do concept albums that also come with comic books.
What? Coheed and Cambria, we out here. What's up?
And like, but like in Keeping Secrets, it's an amazing album. And y'all don't go here, so this doesn't. Deli goes here, but like nobody else does. And Keeping Secrets is an amazing album. Their latest album doesn't have this, like, the songs are not my favorite, but I could hear in which all the ways in which Keeping Secrets has informed where they got to their latest album. And I appreciate that trajectory and that growth. So that's why.
I agree with Robin only because I like more songs on Electric Lady and Under the Computer than I like on Arc Android.
Moving on.
Everybody, welcome to the burning of the squint.
Moving on. This one, Connie gets to take a break because I came at you, so you can sit this one out.
Like first, too.
Margaritas or mimosas?
Wait, say the first one.
Mimosas can go.
Mojitos, margaritas, or mimosas?
Mojitos. I get sick off of mojitos because
mojito can go.
I drink them so much that my body just can't take them anymore after college.
It's kind of like a physical reaction. I will allow it.
Yeah.
Like that makes sense.
I've drank too much. I'm with Portia.
I can't even have mint in alcohol. Like I can't have a like.
I can't either. It's over.
Like this. What is that Southern drink that it's like it's mint?
Mint julep.
Yeah, I can have that. I can have, if it's mint alcohol, it'll make me just like convulse.
Yeah, I try. I can't do it anymore.
I had a mint julep with alcohol because my introduction to mint juleps was at Disneyland. I don't care. I thought it was a Disney drink. First time I had it with alcohol, I was like, oh, this is a game changer. Okay.
The most I feel like are cool, but like I would
balloons are better.
A margarita or a mojito. Like
margaritas have to go for me.
Most of the are like, nah.
Yeah, I can't with the
Texan said what?
Man. It's one of those things where it's like I will drink the only way I can drink tequila is actually in a margarita. But me and tequila, we should just,
consciously uncouple.
We should consciously uncouple. So I will have margaritas, but like if I have a choice, especially. Though I will say, if I can I would get rid of mimosas because I can have a screwdriver, the vodka. Yeah. But out of those three, it would be margaritas.
Cass says that mojitos taste like mouthwash, and I just
that's not.
What mojitos are you drinking?
Oh my God.
When I used to drink them, I used to love them, but then I just can't do it.
There's this Cuban restaurant that we like get food from. And they have mojitos, but they have like different things.
Tripping.
They have this mango habanero mojito that is like,
oh
my God.
Hold on. Well, hold on.
Stephanie said vodka is the
devil's
juice.
It's sublime. I also am like a rum
drink it.
girl. Like, I'm not getting rid of mojito.
See, the thing is, I remember, like, when I think of a mojito, I'm like, oh, I think I could drink that. But every time I get, like, 2 sips in, I'm like,
Mojitos remind me of summertime and happiness. And margaritas remind me that I do not have Bell money and I possibly might want to, have a public life one day. So
one of my most favorite brunches have involved margaritas. Like, not even like I'm still kind of like my cocktails of choice are usually like sweet kind. I'm that person. And so for margaritas, I used to just like, I would always love like a flavored margarita frozen. That was my jam. But then over time, I can do those, but I also can just take a regular margarita on the rocks with a little bit of sugar on the rim and drink that sucker up. So like, I've just kind of evolved with margaritas, and we are one. We are good.
Yeah. And that's
I mean, knows what it is.
Robin got us turned up on margaritas.
That was hilarious.
Was that Cinco de Mayo?
It was Cinco de Mayo.
Margaritas, and my sister was literally flipping out.
Accidentally,
literally,
but yeah.
Like I was
somersaults were happening in the living room.
I was drinking. I was like by myself, eat my food, like eat my tacos, drink my margarita, and then I stood up and I was like, "Yo, this is crazy. Robin really trying to get us turned on a Tuesday." Just at the house. And then I walk into the room to just and I'm like, yeah, that margarita was real strong. And then Akira turns around and does a literal somersault. And I was like, what the fuck?
It It did happen, which is
in tears.
proves my point. Margaritas are an untrustworthy companion.
That margarita hit. It was
Once you know you're having a margarita, you have to buckle yourself in for the ride.
You know that's what we were doing. Like, if I had been, like, informed beforehand, that's what we were doing. I'd have been like, bet, because we like, you know, we have wine at the house all the time. Like, take a drink, cool. I just didn't know how hard we were going, and so I wasn't.
I just don't know what's happening with people's margaritas, because when literally in San Antonio, every happy hour, everybody has at least one margarita. Then you go get whatever you want, but like margaritas is a standard drink there, so like we all just stay turned. I guess I don't know.
Once you go on a margarita journey, you stay on a margarita
journey, and that's the thing.
When you come off of it, that's your fault, because you buckle into margarita. You commit to margarita when you start margarita.
And you know me, guys, I like to have an adventure every once in a while, but I just feel like
you gotta have some parameters.
You gotta have some parameters, and you gotta have, you know what I mean? You gotta be thinking about your overall future.
It might also be tied to the fact that, like, it wasn't a margarita, it was whatever Blue Hawaiian is or whatever. I had that was my my 21st birthday drink was a Blue Hawaiian, which is like
my 21st birthday drink was okay. I don't know if anybody in the chat is other people from San Antonio in the chat. My 21st birthday drink was a frozen margarita from Chacho's, and y'all will know what that means because Lord, that stuff is just gasoline, I swear, but it's good.
That was my 21st birthday drink, and then what we had, so because we didn't think we were going to stick around, we ended up having shots of Patron, and the way Patron just like flowed through my body, and I didn't even feel it. It was just like smooth. At 21, where I just wasn't really drinking like that, I was like, "Yo, tequila might be the one." And tequila does a lot. I mean, some people, I think people talk about it crazy because they don't.
My brother calls me by an entirely different name when I'm drunk on margaritas. My brother's like, "Oh, Mary's here. How you doing, Mary?" Because Robin is gone. And the reason why I can't do tequila is like you'll get those days in which like people will tell you the funny stories about you drinking, whether you blacked out or not. You know what I mean? Just like the days in which things are hazy. And I'll be like, yeah, okay, I did that. That's embarrassing. But I'm drunk on tequila. I'm like, I didn't even do, that's not even something that my brain would think to do. And they're like, but you did it though. So margarita's got to go. We'll do this one while we wait for B to come back. Netflix, Disney Plus, or Hulu?
Hulu.
Hulu got to go?
Although I do watch Hulu currently more than I watch Disney Plus, but I know Disney Plus is about to give me stuff that I want.
Yeah.
And Hulu, I can find other apps to give me what Hulu gives me, but I can't really find other stuff to give me what Disney gives me, and therefore I need to keep the Disney and not the Hulu. I'm
gonna be controversial. Netflix got to go because Star Trek is on every platform. It's also on Hulu. It's also on CBS All Access. So, what Hulu does have, though, is Pride and Prejudice, the 1995 miniseries. Jane Eyre. It doesn't have, no one has Persuasion, but that's okay because none of the Persuasion ones hit. Daniel Deronda. So, you know, right now, Netflix got to go. Because, like Portia said, Disney Plus has things that is coming. Like, the Loki is coming. So
more of The Mandalorian? Yes.
Mandalorian. With Timothy Olyphant, y'all. Raylan is about to be
Baby Yoda. Baby effing Yoda. I mean, the child or whatever. Yes. And then also WandaVision. I'm here for anything that has mutants in it. I'm here. So WandaVision, I'm here for.
Yeah. Hulu currently has Naruto Shippuden, and so I can't.
Can you not get on Crunchyroll? Is there not other venues?
If I could get Crunchyroll, then cool. But so
it's like she already had Hulu. So
is what I'm saying.
I'm saying I can get rid of the thing that is not going to give me exclusive stuff. Like if I can find it elsewhere from another app, then it doesn't really matter because I can find it. But you can't find Disney outside of Disney.
Yeah,
that's true.
Well, I think Hulu has to.
They make a good point made in the chat. The Dragon Prince and Avatar are on Netflix, but we just bought Avatar because we bought it, and then Netflix was like, "Oh, here you go, guys."
Wait, why did me and Icky, like me and my sister were watching? We went on Netflix. What were we watching? Oh, we had just watched How to Get Away with Murder, and so I was going to Netflix just to watch The Office before I went to bed. And like we opened it, and like I had already in the morning gone on Netflix and added Avatar to my list. But then we opened it on the TV, and then they were like at the top banner. We were just like, oh, we were just like, our babies.
Yeah, Dragon Prince /
She-Ra just came back, and it's good. I haven't seen it, but the series as a whole is good.
I'm gonna say Disney Plus can go because I still don't have Disney Plus. They can go until July when Hamilton hits it, and then I'm not this.
That's another reason why Disney can't
Oh,
go.
Takeoff is on Netflix.
And Nadia too. I watched all
And
the
Nadia.
episodes. I'm about to make a Poke Bowl thanks to her.
Okay. Y'all have made points.
Can
I
go.
gotta give a shout out to my sister who's in the chat. She has Disney for free because of Verizon, and so that's how I've been watching Disney Plus. Is because it's for free.
We got the hookup.
She added her.
I'm paying for Disney because my brother's paying for literally everything else.
I'm paying for Disney.
They also say Great British Bake Off, and I'm like, are y'all not Great British Bake Off? What are you doing?
Yeah.
No, I forgot because I was really on. So Hulu has to go, and then I'll just have to. I do own the Pride and Prejudice miniseries. I guess I can order Sense and Sensibility. I mean, I don't own. I have the Emma Thompson one, but that 2007 remake I really do enjoy. So I'll just have to purchase that one as well. Yeah. And then Jane Eyre, I'll just have to buy because I can also watch Reese Wilson and Luther on Netflix.
That's cool. Actually, isn't HBO Go
HBO
turning
Max.
into HBO Max, which is gonna have Crunchyroll?
Not HBO Go, HBO Now.
No, I thought it was both.
No.
Oh, Lord.
And Imani's making points that if you have D Plus bundle, you
Whoa.
We already have Hulu. That's true.
Wait, that's true. Hulu can technically go. I
It's not the other way
got it in a
around.
bundle with
It's not the other
Spotify
way around.
anyways.
You can't just get Hulu and have Disney. You have to do it the Disney way to get the Hulu.
Yeah, Hulu through
That's true,
Spotify.
but you get the Hulu with Disney because I have that because my brother wanted ESPN Plus, which is dumb and a waste of money. You get Hulu, but you get it with commercials.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
Also, Spotify is also Hulu, Spotify, whatever.
Right. That's how I have Hulu.
you don't
anyway,
get
so.
Hulu Spotify with Disney Plus. That's all another.
No.
No,
But it's another bundle.
that's another bundle, like Disney, Hulu, and then Spotify.
It's
I
Hulu
have Hulu.
Spotify off of Hulu with commercials though.
Yes.
The fact that you
Yes.
have to pay for Hulu and then
And
pay
have
more for
commercials,
no commercials
Yeah.
is why Hulu has to go.
You don't. If
That
you got,
also is why it has to go.
I forget that I hate Hulu because we currently don't have commercials, but like that's garbage.
I have cable,
yeah, I usually
so
hate.
I don't.
I
need
would have
Hulu.
said Hulu could go because I hate Hulu, but then I'm like, well, I don't got Disney Plus, so I could keep it.
It's gone already.
I think what I most watch on Hulu are like network shows, so that's why I'm like I could find any other app for it. Like I'll watch Bob's Burgers, and I'm like I could go get another app.
I'm
and
a
I
level
can-
with all y'all though. You can
Yeah.
find anything if you really want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't need any of them if you have the
Okay.
wherewithal.
I mean, if you want high quality, I'm bougie now. Okay.
All right,
I
remember
was watching bootleg Avatar, and I was suffering.
I
right?
did too, but mine was not. It was not a struggle. It was not
I
a
was
struggle watch.
suffering.
So
I was suffering and had to get someone's Blu-rays that I still have. I'm so sorry. Get me to Jake your Blu-rays, but the Rona hit, and then I still have it. So who can go?
all right. So speaking of Avatar, Sokka, Zuko, or Aang, who got to go?
Aang, bye.
Aang. Aang.
I'm gonna be controversial. And I'm gonna say Sokka because he annoys me, and I'm here for Aang all day because my friend's baby. And I will keep Aang to myself because I like him.
He's a perfect
Yes.
Zuko's ass got to go. Ain't nobody here for all
Annoying. Sokka is so
together.
Pause. You are not here for the angst. Nobody. That's not true. Don't lie. You don't have to lie on the stream.
All right. I am not here for this angst.
Cool.
Get it together. Go to therapy. Leave me out of it. Me and Sokka and Aang, we gonna go on an adventure and we gonna be laughing. And Aang gonna
be like
go
he's
all
a
red,
different person by the end.
Iroh is his therapist. Okay.
Iroh needs a raise and also needs his own therapist because he is self-medicating. And
I want to use his own
tea.
I want to see the Iroh series all the time.
He tells you exactly what's in that tea.
There are mushrooms in that tea.
He said it's this specific brand of ginseng from this plant over here in the Earth Kingdom. He tells you exactly what's in it.
Look
He
it.
be putting patchouli in that tea.
Alex said that Sokka reminds them of Ron Weasley, and that might be why I was like,
But
That's
Sokka
exactly
is
why
Ron should have
Portia doesn't
been.
like Ron. That's
I
exactly
did
why
not-
Portia doesn't like her.
A bigger point.
But I feel like I want to say with Connie when she was doing her rewatch, it was like that's Ron if they like remembered who Ron was.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly right. Because like he's
I
a
don't
strategist,
care
he's
about
smart.
Sokka. Go
He's
away.
funny.
And he's like he's great. And can go.
I started watching the series.
Maggie said that she's living in the Zutara fic world where Aang's role is mainly to be a bad, immature boyfriend, but he is in fact a good kid. He is. He's
I don't dislike Aang. I like Aang.
He gives me Prince Ezran vibes, and Ezran.
But given the three, Aang can go.
Yeah, give it a 3 and
No,
go.
Sokka's the worst.
One, right?
He's the worst one of the three.
Sokka's not the worst.
Yes, he
That
is.
is the
He's
worst.
the worst of the three.
Demonstrably
I would take Aang
false.
over Sokka any day. Any day.
Big
No,
brother.
did I break
Every
the wrist?
I will say that like one of my main, like really the only gripe I have with like Zutara fandom is like how dirty they do Aang.
They do a real dirty.
I do not care.
Like,
I do not care.
Aang does not bang. We do not over here subscribe to that. But Aang is still the avatar. You know what I mean? Like he still does things. He still has worth and like
I
merit.
know.
And,
I don't
like,
care if you ship
in the
Zutara or whatever.
he's a tiny kid.
He's
and, like,
still
whatever.
worth keeping. Sokka, on the other hand, is not. I do not want Sokka. He can go.
Aang has
No.
work. He can go, but like he's not just this like I don't know the way that Fig be having him. They be doing him wrong.
Well, they
sometimes.
do.
funny.
And I feel uncomfortable because I'm like, am I co-signing this? Because I don't hate this. I don't hate this boy.
Aang is a bad father. And look, I have not. I don't.
I didn't watch Legends of Korra. And
Yeah,
that
I don't
made
go
me
there, but
coloring it, 'cause
I'm
I
just
couldn't-
saying
I couldn't
that's
get
not
through- I saw,
surprising
like,
to
a
me.
couple of episodes of the first season, and I couldn't get past a certain point, I guess. But I don't
Maggie
know
says
about Aang.
canonically bad, so it's true. Wait, he really is a bad father? I thought that was just a fic trope. Oh my gosh. See?
He's also doing Avatar stuff.
Yeah, I guess that
don't know
makes
what
sense.
he did. I don't know what he. I just thought he died young, from what I could tell from like the first season or so of like Korra's, that he died young, and therefore his kids grew up without him for the most part.
Yeah,
Look, Sokka, he's what, look, my case for Sokka is that he's what Ron should have been because he's a good strategist. I think when I was doing my rewatch? I don't know. Who was I? I don't know. I think it was when I was doing my rewatch. I was talking about how like the three of them are like the HP trio, but better realized because they actually do internal work with like other parts of themselves. Like,
Yeah.
I almost called him Ron. Sokka is this funny and like bombastic guy, but it's to like compensate and cover like the hurt he's dealing with and the pressure of
Weasley, who is the
he's not
worst.
insecure. The pressure of having to like be the only no.
Why
The
can't
pressure
he
of
be
having to
insecure?
be he's not insecure. The pressure of being the only warrior for his tribe, having to deal with his mother's death, being an older brother to Katara.
They came back.
Not during the show they came back. Not before.
I haven't rewatched it in a while. I'm starting to rewatch now, but I could have sworn, like at some point, we see the men from the Water Tribe.
Yes, you do. But like during the show, and it helps him grow as a human. It helps Sokka grow as a character because his father comes back and they get to rebond and all that stuff. He like gets to deal with his trauma.
And then Katara is flawed because she's like Hermione and she wants to overachieve all the time, but it's to like cover up for her anger and trauma. And then Aang's out here being a little kid because he's trying to run away from his problems.
Because Aang is a little kid.
Right, he is, and he's trying to run away from his
No, I wanna
problems
be
of
a
being the
little kid.
Avatar. I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying
And
he's
he's an airbender, so like I think people have like I think
and
have
I'm
the
agreeing with you. I'm
15
agreeing with you. I'm saying they're all more nuanced
Yeah,
than
no, I'm
the
just saying,
trio.
like, I think people want Aang to be more like let's kill people, and then they get pissed that he's not. And I'm like, that's that. Like Aang can be pacifist all he wants to. He's taught to be, and he can be.
Listen, Aang can go, but no one's disagreeing with you that Aang could stay.
Right.
We're just saying that you're wrong. That
I pick Aang over Sokka every time because Sokka.
All right, we're gonna move on because I want us all to be friends at the end of this. And in that
Well,
vein,
that ship sailed when you did that to Connie. Like that was over already.
I'm not done.
Yeah,
Oh,
our
God.
final
Wait, I just want to hear this. Y'all were saying that that Aang is a bad father, but what happened to Sokka in the Legend of Korra?
We're moving on.
I just want to know what happened to him.
I don't know.
I don't know.
That never came
I
back
don't
to
think
it.
anyone knows.
No, I mean,
I
I
feel
was
like people were saying like he doesn't
We don't know.
appear.
He does not need
Have a
anything
role.
for a story. Is that what you're saying? That he's inconsequential? Therefore
Goodbye,
not-
Portia. Goodbye.
We're moving on.
They're saying
We want to be
gosh.
We want to be friends again, right?
I don't want to spoil
Here's our
Korra, so we'll leave it.
Guys,
y'all.
we're about to be friends again.
No, we're not.
So here's our final one. Gotta go.
Havoc.
Lemonade, Beyonce, or B-Day. I was told I couldn't choose Homecoming. So Lemonade, Beyonce, or B-Day. Remember that we love each other. Go for it. B-Day gotta go.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know. I
Just
just
like none of them
No,
songs.
B-Day. None of? Okay. You don't.
but
you don't
Beyonce
get
has
it.
bops. Like
Beyonce has
Wait a
Bob.
minute. I'm sorry. Rewind.
I just have to.
Robin, when did you go to college? Like, what were the years?
I'm old, okay? Leave me
Okay, no,
alone.
no, but like, was there not like a time where B-Day was part of your college? Like,
I didn't like her. I didn't like her. Didn't like her. I recognized that she was talented, but I wasn't a Beyonce fan until 4.
I just have to go and look at what song.
yeah, let me go look at this track list so I can be
Remember
sure.
that you love me.
I
Remember,
personally-
stop taking the earrings off, girl. What's going on?
how did you get back on? You know?
B-Day is absolutely staying, so that's not even a question.
Wait, it's B-Day, Lemonade, and what was the other one?
Beyonce.
Self-titled. But self-title has partitions. Yikes!
B-Day can go.
Choose.
B-Day can
I
go.
really can't.
B-Day can go.
I had to
She
just
pulled
double
up
check. I have to make sure I'm making the right decision.
Yeah, B-Day can go.
I already know B-Day is staying. So
Yeah, B-Day can go actually. Oh wait.
So I have to I'm trying to.
Wait,
If you
got
guys
it.
said 4, I would have been like 4 can
Yeah.
go.
4 can go.
What?
4 can go.
4 can go.
4 can go.
Between these
Oh wait, no. I just
4 cannot go.
between these
Yes,
three,
it
I'm
can.
gonna have to say self-titled, and I hate it. But
Like Beyonce.
yeah, I know. I like it hurts my heart. But between the three, B-Day has to stay,
No, B-Day can go.
and Lemonade has formation. And so
I
I
refuse to choose. I'm not doing it.
within these three,
If I had to pick if I had to do Janelle Monáe, you have to pick Portia.
I'm not choosing.
self-titled.
No, if I had to pick between Janelle Monáe, you have to choose one.
I can't. I literally cannot.
This is ghetto.
yeah, okay. I'm yeah,
B-Day can go.
B-Day can go. Very barely. Oh
Nope, I'm pretty solid in it.
B-Day has
nah.
to stay.
Yeah.
And I looked up
Yeah.
4 and I was like, 4 can stay. 4 can also stay.
No.
Countdown? Come on, guys.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
Love
but-
on top.
Sure.
Yes.
Those
But-
songs are cute and all, but
Baby, you
with Austin Power, I still to this day will dance to most of the B-Day. I can sing the whole album. You put
I
B-Day
can
bang. Just put me up. I'm gonna go Deja. I'm gonna go into upgrade. I'm gonna go to Irreplaceable. I'm gonna go into
That's your problem.
I'm gonna go into freaking all the dance songs. I'm gonna go to all of Beyonce songs for freaking B-Day.
Okay.
Same for freaking
Yeah.
subtitles and same
Those
for
first-
Lemonade. So
They do not. They do
of
not.
course,
Tell me.
and not for Dangerously in Love. Dangerously in Love is trash. So take that.
Those first
You
3.
can't sit here and lie to me in my house.
Those first
please.
3. She got singles on them.
No. Relax. Relax.
Okay.
Wow, it's not even let's be friends, let's be cousins. Robin's about to lose her cousinhood.
I just.
She got singles on them. There's some singles.
No. Stop.
Wait,
All
what do you-
right.
From which one?
Nope. Don't even. No. We're done. It's over. It's a wrap. We good.
Whew. Me too, Bianca. She said she hates it here. Me too.
Thank you, Stephanie. She did not create Kitty Cat for this kind of disrespect. Kitty Cats. What is wrong with y'all?
I don't even know what that is. So we're
Green
good.
light.
That's what you can't talk about. Babe. Just don't talk about Beyonce. Stop talking about her. You can't.
Hey, Bounce.
Get out of here.
Upgrade you. Like,
Oh
are you?
Dress.
I
Some effing dress.
Anyway, I love y'all. Bianca said I'm the
Oh my gosh.
All right. That was fun.
Was it? For you? Wait, hold on. Nothing came from Robin. Wait, hold on.
I'm asking y'all to give me suggestions, and you didn't. So it all came from my brain.
I didn't know it was going to be attacked.
5 minutes before this started.
No, I asked you during our meeting. I said, if y'all think about them, think about them. No, because I forgot.
If we would have known we were going to be attacked, we would have been prepared.
Because I got ADD. Leave me alone. Okay, if y'all have one that you think could come for me, let's go.
Yes, please, y'all in the chat. This is retribution.
I'm willing to take it. I was asking.
She is an agent of chaos. We have known this for a while. Thank you, Lyric.
I'm not an agent of chaos.
Wait, no, about Star Trek. Pull some characters out of that.
Deep Space Nine gotta go. That's fine. Tell
me about some Enterprise versus whatever.
Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
No, Jane Austen.
Oh, Jane
Wait
Austen.
a minute. Give me the Master versus who else is hot in there? Let's go.
It's just the Master and Portia. You don't.
Just the Master and Ryan. That's it.
Yeah, it's just the Master.
Yes.
Alex and Luna.
All right, you gotta pick. Wait, no, we out here. You gotta pick. One's gotta go. In sync, no strings attached, or celebrity. Go.
Oh. Okay.
Good job, Delia.
There you go, Dahlia. In sync gotta go. That was very easy.
Why?
Because they didn't write a lot of those songs. The songs that they did write, it was very much geared to European pop.
But they wouldn't have been what they were without it.
What they would have been. I enjoy In Sync a lot. It also gave them it gave
what it would have been.
They without In Sync. First off, In Sync didn't do very well until they got the Disney special. I had that album because my dad knew someone that played basketball in Germany. And I had it right before. I had the European album before, but they were like sitting in the middle. They would have been LFO had not for the Disney special. But No Strings Attached and Celebrity are both when they start doing some real writing. JC in particular starts doing some real writing. Celebrity is a 2-step garage album. It's a 2-step album. And I don't know if y'all know this, but Craig David and I, we go way back. Really big in there. And so like having that UK sound as opposed to that German pop synth punk or whatever with the Marx Brothers and all that stuff, it's simple.
Okay, we got two more. We got two more. We got
Sirius or McGonagall. One gotta go.
McGonagall gotta go.
No. Luna, Sirius, or Hedwig.
Oh, I thought we were doing Charlie Weasley.
No, that's the next one. No. That's the next one. No, that's the next one.
Luna or Sirius.
Wait, why do I have to do so many?
Because you made all the other ones and you attacked it.
You came for each one of us very specifically.
I did. I did do that. That's the thing I did. Luna, Sirius, or Charlie Weasley? Well, I guess because Charlie is only a romantic liaison for me, he gotta go.
You never know.
We don't know anything. We don't know anything
alive.
Huh?
He was never alive. He never existed. You never knew of him. And he'd be fine.
Yeah, she'd be fine.
Yeah. Charlie, he exists in my head. Like he is who he is in my head.
Maggie has a good one for her.
Okay.
Maggie said,
I already know.
Pride and Prejudice. Oh, we already know this one.
Yeah.
We already know that one.
Persuasion, Pride and Prejudice, or Jane Eyre?
There you go.
Goddamn travesty, Magus.
We already know which one. So.
You sit in your seat and be sitting in your seat and leave me out of it. How about that?
How about you pick? Go ahead.
You gotta pick one.
Which one? And then we can move on.
I mean, Jane Eyre is really objectively a terrible story. Like, not terrible. Like, he lost his wife of color in that.
His wife of color.
His black wife
of color.
because she's a mulatto.
She is of color. I know.
She's of color,
I
and
read
she's
the Wide Sargasso Sea.
Ooh, Sorry about
that
it.
shit.
He locked her in the attic, but I still, every time he's like, we can go live in Greece and just be living in sin. I'm like, he makes points, Jane. Jane Eyre got to go, but I don't like it.
Good.
That's all we needed.
That's all we needed.
Cool.
Why? But Jane didn't do nothing but tell her life story, okay?
I mean,
You made me pick between the Hearts Android, Electric Lady, and Dirty Computer.
The confidence to write an autobiography and tell it all. Let it all hang out. Let the truth. Whew. All right, let's move on.
did we do questions?
Yeah, I want to do more questions from the
There's,
audience. I put them down here.
Oh.
So
Bet.
this one's from Amani. This is a good one. This one. No, this is a legitimate good question. That's what I meant when I said this is a good one. From Amani. How have your feelings on fandom changed after 5 years doing this? And how do you balance increasing the brand?
It started off as a good one. Huh?
I forgot how he worded it.
Yeah.
Because my brain fixed the wording. How do you balance increasing the brand with staying sane in non-Umar approved spaces, which means predominantly white spaces?
Just first of all, leave Umar out of this.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yikes. Who's?
Whoops. It always takes me a minute when y'all drop Umar, and I'm like, who is that? Oh, yeah, that's that dude.
That
Like,
one
who is that?
Listening to.
I would say for me, like, so
I'm
one
hot.
of the things we did, we did last year, we like mentioned earlier, we went to 4, like Robin and I, and like to every what it like trickled,
Portia, I think, did
accumulated
3.
Connie
did 3. Delia did 2.
Something.
3?
Anyway, we did a
3.
whole lot of Harry Potter conventions last year, which was fine in some ways, and in other ways, like I kind of wish we hadn't. Mostly just because it was like a lot of the same conversations that we were having, and by the end of it, I was kind of over. Like I still don't really know that kid.
Harry Potter. She means Harry Potter.
Like it's been over
Just had-
now.
She lived with him for 7 years, almost 7.
Like it's weird because like I've had, there's been times when I haven't really been reading the books, and even still not like I think maybe I went like 3 years without reading the books when I was in college or something. And then we started Wizard Team, and like this whole time that's kind of always been when I think about like the stuff I have to do every week, it's like Wizard Team, and it still is, but I think that like before it was, we get to read Harry Potter, and like Wizard Team is fun, but we also get to do Harry Potter. At this point, we get to do Wizard Team, and like Harry Potter is whatever. This year I haven't really been thinking about him. Like I've done Lord of the Rings. I've watched Lord of the Rings
So many times.
since November, since Thanksgiving. I've watched maybe 2 Towers 3 times, and the other 2 like twice. Like since November, I've done an Avatar rewatch. Y'all know I've been in this Zutara hole. I am now watching Naruto. Maps are a thing. You know what I mean?
She's probably the sole member of the map fandom.
That's also her fandom that she's joined. Yeah.
I found the map here from like 2015. This shit's crazy. Like I've just been like kind of diverting my like fandoms and like the way that I nerd out to other things, and not that I'll never come back to like Harry Potter. But currently, anytime like the discourse pops off, like I got the Harry Potter channel in fact muted because I'm just like I can't make myself think about it more than just like we're reading Crimes of Grindelwald, we're doing Wizard Team. Like I can't, which doesn't help. But I think that like I still don't even really count Crimes of Grindelwald as Harry Potter. Like there are moments where I'd be like, well, what the fuck does this have to do with like the OG7? But in general, I don't even really connect them like that. And so for me, I think it's like the first time I've been kind of doing fandom stuff personally that's not Potter related, which is honestly really fun because I never and also like in some ways not in the same way, because I think the other thing is like with Harry Potter it's all very public, and it's like public fandom, and like I have to have an opinion and like all, and I don't really that's not why I want to like like these things, and like turning things into jobs is cool. It's also why I stopped doing Tarbis, because I was like, I like Doctor Who, but I don't feel like having to talk about my opinion on the thing other than just like texting somebody like, yo, the master's out here wilding. That's crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to have to.
Is wilding new slang for fine?
That's what I thought.
But he's also fine, but like he is also he's the master. Anyway, my point is that like I'm kind of finding right now, because we did so much specifically Harry Potter, because we did so much talking last year fandom wise and a lot of like public stuff. This year I'm very much like just like I'm just gonna like fan out by myself, or not by myself, but like in much smaller
controlled
like setting. Environments, and then like let's do a panel on writing, or like let's, you know what I mean, like let's do that thing, and I can do those things more like out loud, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that in general my like relationship to fandom and my feelings on fandom have changed, and it's been a gradual like reckoning with like the good and bad that comes from it. And so I think that like on the one hand, I love talking about fandom. I love, like, to me, fandom is just a big community, and I love community. I love hearing how people work and how they interact with each other and how they share their interests and loves with each other and how those things are received. And I think about it all in terms of like a big, I don't know, like sociology experiment, I guess, like, or study, I guess. I'm like an archaeologist of nerds. Not archaeology. That's wrong.
No.
I'm a sociologist of nerds.
No.
That's fine.
Anthropologist. Anthropologist.
Anthropology. Thank you. I'm hot, guys. I'm
Communications major. That's what it is.
Me too, fam, but I miss that word. But yeah, so I think that like all of those things continuously fascinate me, but I'm reckoning more with like going from being 90% fascinated and 10% perturbed to being it's about like 50-50 now, being like 70-30% perturbed versus fascinated, because also like Bayana was saying, like these things are really cyclical as well. So
yeah, new like people, the same conversations.
New people will join the fandom, like will discover a thing, and then they want to have that conversation, which is their right. But also, if you have been doing it, you're like, we talk, like, I don't want to talk about the magical schools anymore. Like, I've had that conversation, and like no matter what, you can tell someone will discover a piece of writing or hear something new for the first time, and they want to get angry and upset about it. But I'm like, but this is 6 years old, 8 years old. Like, I can't bring the same. I can't care. I got over it already.
You don't want to go to magical schools, even ones that are in New Orleans?
No. I want to hear about your magical for sure. And I want the remedy of you finding out about magical schools and being like, this is bullshit, to make up your own. Like, I want that part, but I don't want to go through the whole like
the emotional energy of it all.
I don't have any more energy for it, because like, yeah, it's like I can't keep. And also the world is shit, so I just can't keep that. I can't leave my heart open in the same way. I can't keep rehashing the same things that I've come to accept. You know, that whole thing about accept the things you can't change and whatever. They accept or whatever. The way I change things I can't accept is, in terms of fandom, is I just peace out, because who has the time?
Yeah.
So I think that that's kind of been my relationship, my growing relationship. I also, though, will say that I still do like having a piece of the having a part in the fandom, because I've also reached old lady. We all know I'm 107. When you reach this age, you don't give a care, and you say what's on your mind. And so there are a lot of times in which I just say the damn thing, and I'm like, do I deal with the fallout? Sure. Or I say what I want, and then I move on because I'm sick of y'all. So I don't need to deal with the fallout. Like, you heard me. I said what I said. I said what I said. So I'm also like kind of enjoying that piece. Whereas when I was newer, I would be like, oh, we'll have these conversations behind closed doors, but then I don't want to offend anyone, or I don't want to start drama or whatever. And now at this point, if someone asks me how I feel about a certain property or certain like website, MuggleNet. Fuck them. I don't care. I don't care.
Sure.
Fuck them. Don't like them. They ain't got nothing. They ain't offering nothing. They ain't saying nothing. Everything that they offer is bullshit. Boom.
Wow.
I'm like your old crotchety grandmama.
You're Aunt Muriel.
I'm Aunt Muriel in this bitch.
You're a guest of
I'm finding enjoyment in that.
That's the long bottom up in here.
And I'm finding my enjoyment in that. So
I feel like mine hasn't changed. I've just had. So we've talked a lot about how most of us and a lot of us who have come to BGC, and especially like Black Potterheads and stuff, like enjoyed fandom singularly and on your own. And I feel like when I was doing that, that was fine. But then I was like, there should be a little more. And then I found BGC and I was like, oh, cool, here's the more. And then I went to like LeakyCon and I was just like, there's a lot more. I don't need all the lot more. It's what I've learned. But that's what I've kind of always known, I think, is that I just like wanted a few friends who got me and who got these references and who wanted to do this thing and like care about this thing to the degree that I did. And then I found that, and then we're like, oh, let's tiptoe our way into like these larger spaces. And I, like Robin, like conventions and think they're interesting and fun, and kind of look at them as like a anthropological study of like, wow, there are really different kinds of nerds out here.
See there.
Yeah.
So there's that too. Like there are people even in some of the conventions that I have no interest in ever going to again. A large part of why I'm sad about it is because there are people that go there that live there that I love.
Yeah. There are lots of people that I see only at conventions, even when we live in the same city. So, like, I enjoyed that aspect of going to conventions. But
hi. It was nice seeing you. When did we last see each other?
No, don't do that one to
No,
me.
you were
Before lockdown started. I saw you literally the day before lockdown started. You're one of the last people I've seen. But I think it hasn't changed because I just have now had the experience of having more. And so my opinion has been the same, but I realize I don't need that. Not realize I don't need. I'm confirmed that I don't need that much more.
Yeah.
For me, well, I haven't been out here for 5 years. I've been out here for like, actually, I don't know. When did Black Hogwarts happen? Whenever that was.
Like
28.
2.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I've been out here that long. So 2.5 years, basically.
Oh my gosh.
I would say generally my fandom experience, I used to think my fandom experience is really singular, but then getting to know people in the community, I realized I was out here more than other people, but still not like properly out here. So for me, I don't think I'm burned out. I have realized, because when you go to these bigger spaces, there is stuff I gain from it. Like, just like our community exists as a pocket within those spaces, there's other communities whose point of view I'm interested in that exist in those spaces. Like, we didn't meet the Gaily Prophet at LeakyCon, but like there are pockets like that exist in these spaces. And I wish, it's made me wish that there was another way without having to traverse all this whiteness to get to those other communities and like interact with them and get to know their content. Even if their content isn't specifically for me, or like, it's just, I like to broaden my horizons that way. And you find a lot of good friends that way. So more I've grown to appreciate those spaces while also being really tired of those spaces, because you have to traverse a lot of whiteness and a lot of mess to get to those pockets. And I wish it wasn't that way. And so I think in turn, the fatigue of having to traverse all this whiteness and all this stuff that you didn't want to know exists, I've in general just made the way I experience more fandom more private. Like, there's some stuff I'll talk about on Twitter. There's a lot of stuff I don't that I'm into. The other day, I mentioned something to Connie and Bion, and they're like, I didn't know you like that. I was like, yeah, well, sometimes it's just like, I don't want to be I don't want to have discourse. I don't want to, it just becomes a lot, especially as BGC gets more established. People seem to in turn expect you to have opinions on stuff that I'm like,
they expect you to have opinions on everything.
Yeah, and I'm like, I would
just like you all to there are other people to tag if you want to be mad about something.
Right, exactly. I'm just like,
That's the way I will say that.
that's
One of
not
my favorite
at the
things
community.
we
It's
did
just
was
like
that-
Right.
more in general Twitter people. But yeah, it's just like I don't
Twitter culture.
right.
Mhm.
And people
One
who
of my
found us
favorite things,
through.
we did a panel in Boston about that, about like gatekeeping and stuff, and someone had asked about it, and we were all like, you see something on Twitter and you don't answer. Leave
Right.
it. And like we all, and I think the reason why we found each other and why we work so well is because we all kind of share that sentiment of like, you don't have to be in the discourse just to be in the discourse. Like, and I think that we all mutually like really believe that, because we will talk to each other like, y'all see this thing on Twitter, and like very few times will one of us go and like
Be like,
well, let me, yeah, unless it's like a word.
Sometimes
It happens sometimes. Sometimes the jokes are too good to just like leave on the table. But like,
or sometimes you have to take to Twitter because Oprah Magazine did something really dumb, and you just really feel like it helps the brand. Like if it'll help the brand, I think we'll step out or make a decision. But like a lot of times, those kinds of arguments don't help the brand at all. They're just people want to fight and like argue and have discourse. So it depends on if it helps the brand or not.
Again, we're all 5 different people, and we all have our own individual soapboxes. So look, if you're ready to pull someone into a fight with you about, let's talk about the Weasleys, that's when you grab Portia, because I will talk bad about the Weasleys.
and we will in our own.
Grab my
About
over here, like, okay, but what are we doing with the dragons? What are you doing with them? Like,
Nah, even I think at this point, Mayana's like, do not publicly talk to me about dragons.
okay, but again, Harry Potter, I don't know him, but dragons in other worlds. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about dragons on maps. Let's talk about landforms as dragons. What's going on with that? Like,
and I think that's another reason why it's so good to have a group chat too, because it will be like, oh, Portia, they're getting to there about the Weasleys. Put the link of your tweet, and we'll retweet you, but we ain't. We'll do some shady, subtweeting, but we'll like it.
Sips tea.
The gift game is real strong.
Expectation that like, oh, Portia's going off about the Weasleys, and we all have to jump in now. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like that. Let her go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Point me to where I send the like and the retweet, but like, you don't have like we and I think that is a valuable thing about this space too. It's like, and that's one of the big things about the Slack was like, I didn't want the Slack to be an offshoot of Twitter at all, but I did want you to be able to like, something was popping off on Twitter and you could get your jokes off or your hot takes off without being exposed to the cesspool that is that.
Yeah.
So yeah. There's one here. Yeah. Brittany asked the question, have we talked about how the members of the Squint got involved in BGC besides the fact that R&B are cousins? Well, I was minding my own business. And Bayana was all on some like, I'm going on break and I want to write. And I was like, good for you, Sam. I want to do a podcast. And she was like, cool.
No, that's not what happened.
Yeah, that is.
No, you're mixing up the two different starts.
No, but that's how we started. And then that failed.
But you didn't say anything about a podcast that time.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
No, because I was working at a podcast.
You're mixing
place.
the two together.
Yeah, so we started writing and it didn't go anywhere. We started a blog, it didn't go anywhere. You can't find.
It was over the summer and then school started again and I was like, joke's on you and me.
I have papers to write.
Like, I'm not about to be writing no extra stuff. That's crazy. And then the year after, so we started Black Girls Create in the iteration that is now the day after I graduated. Probably like that last month, we're like planning to relaunch it. So like it went live the day after I graduated college, which means also like my 5th anniversary of graduating college. It's like, wow. I was like, I had mentioned it to my mom like yesterday. I was like, yo, it's been 5 years now? That's crazy. But yeah, at that point, then we were like, okay, we're gonna and at that point it was like, we're gonna do a blog and we'll start a podcast. And
I had been working with a podcaster and then I stopped working with them and I was like, I was working with this podcast and I kept being like, I was listening to Harry Potter podcast and hating them. Muggle them. Anyway. I was listening to them and hating them and I was like, we should do a Harry Potter podcast. And this podcaster that I was working with was like, nobody cares about Harry Potter anymore. Nobody wants to hear that. And something about hearing someone say that was just like, but you're wrong. Like, you're so wrong. So that's how our journey started. But yeah.
I don't remember. I still don't know.
That
No,
is
I
so
you know, it was Connie also has multiple starts. She
does.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you do.
You have a start on how you found us, and then you have a start on how you became part of the team. That's two different things.
Oh, sure.
Shout out to conventions in Baltimore.
Everyone does, man. Because how we we be talking less about that, but you know that's also how we got Connie on the team because we were like, oh, you don't got nothing you're not attached to a nerd website anymore. Just say less.
I think they came with a coordinated plot like that weekend. They're just like, okay, we're gonna meet up, and then they were like,
we definitely were like.
We had a couple of meetings in which we would be like, okay, we would be planning stuff out and we'd have ideas. And then we'd be like, but Connie can do that. And at one point we both were like, we got to stop telling Connie what she can and can't do.
Yeah.
Because you were like in the meetings without actually being in the meetings at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And then you were like, oh, I'm
free. I'm a free agent.
Like, boom. Literally, I texted Robin like, hey, we could ask Connie to we could just make this official now. We haven't even out of Baltimore yet.
Yeah.
But very quickly, because I've told this story before, I literally cannot remember the person who tweeted at me and said, have you heard of Wizard Team? It's hosted by 2 Black girls. And guys, I still barely listen to podcasts. Like, I don't listen to the ones I'm on. Like, I still barely listen to a lot of podcasts. But I didn't listen to any then. I was not a person who cared about any kind of podcasts. And it was like, I don't know what day. I don't remember what day it was. I think at some point we marked it down the day that that was our cousinship. But I don't know what day it was, but it was some 3 or 4 episodes into Wizard Team. Someone tweeted at me, have you heard of this podcast? Still can't find the tweet. Can't find the person who it was. Have no idea. I don't think it was someone who was already in this community, who was already listening. Just it was just some angel who was just like, here, find your friends, find your people. I was like, okay, sure. And then I listened to the podcast and it's been a wrap since.
So I happened to listen to the podcast that Robin was associated with for a second. And because a friend put me onto that in grad school, and I was like, okay. And I heard Robin mention a Harry Potter podcast, and I was like, let me follow her now. Crazy idea to do a Harry Potter podcast.
Campaigning.
So I followed her on Twitter, and then whenever she posted something about Wizard Team, I was like, oh, let me go check it out. And then I started listening to it. And then I started tweeting at them with my benches and my MVPs. And then somehow, I don't know.
Portia, you're also what? So after I joined the team, you also were a person where we're like, well, we could just get Portia to do that. And then we're like, at some point, we're like, we need to just make it official. But Portia has too many things to do. So it took actually much longer than we would like.
Afterwards, the Portia was kind of semi in her feelings. And we were like, but you have so much stuff to do. We are always there's always this fight between us where we're like, Portia could do that. But no, Portia got too much going on. But Portia could do that. She wanted that. I know. We would always she'll say yes, but should she say yes?
But the thing is that so that's when I first started listening. I was in the Wizard Team stuff, and then I think I was one of the first non-family members to give support, financial support to BGC or whatever. And they said my name on the podcast, and I was like, that's me. And then we started chatting, and then Harry Potter Alliance. Robin brought up the Harry Potter Alliance, and at that point, we'd been chatting through Slack and stuff, and I was like, well, I'll also join Harry Potter Alliance. And then Robin and I started we did an event in Chicago when B was still living in Chicago with the Harry Potter Alliance. So that's the first time I ever met Bayana was in Chicago, and Robin, I think, in person was and I was like, is it weird if can I stay here? Sorry. And I mean, I don't talk to strangers. My mom had taught me not to talk to no strangers, but they didn't feel like strangers. So I was like, these are my friends. So that's how the event was the American Library Association. They had
so many books
every year.
I still got all
the free books, and I had a bunch of free books, and I was like, I should just review books, y'all. This is what we should do. I should just be a book reviewer. And I think that's how I first became like at some parts of BGC was the book reviewer for BGC.
Mm-hmm. I will say the first time that Connie was supposed to meet me, she was going to be staying at my house. I ended up going
before that.
Earlier.
Oh, right.
We had made that plan, and then I work for a work thing, and I was like, well, I'm here. Let's go get pancakes.
Did we all meet? No, because we met with Aunt Bayana with Deborah. Was that before?
Yeah, that was that before?
I wasn't there, yeah.
Maybe that was before. Yeah, because I'd gone to New York for a work. When I say work thing, that's like the loosest term. I wanted to go to this Black girl tech thing that was barely even about tech. And I gave them the I'm a Black girl that works at this tech company. Y'all should. This is a networking opportunity. Knowing that I was going to go there and talk only about BGC, but my job paid for it. Oops.
Nicely done.
Nicely done. And that's how I met y'all for the first time. We went to dinner and got pancakes in Hell's Kitchen. I remember that.
Oh yeah, we did that.
But the first plans that we had to meet was Connie was coming to San Diego Comic-Con.
Wow, to stay at your mama's house. That's crazy.
Also, let's just tell this story right now because I'm still mad about it. My mama asked Connie what she wanted for breakfast. And my mama said, do you want pancakes? Do you want waffles? And Connie was like, I don't know. I'll take a BLT. Like, girl. Messing up. And I was like, nah, mama, get on them pancakes. Let's go.
I wasn't trying to make her do a hard thing.
I know. And then you made me be the bad guy.
I didn't know that it was a Molly Weasley situation. I didn't fully understand what that meant. I've never had that. So I was just like, oh, okay. Next time I go to your house, I'm going to be like, yo, get them waffles ready. I'm not going to do that. Then if you happen to want to feel like making some waffles, I wouldn't say no.
If you already just have it sitting there,
right. Like you already have the griddle out, like.
Who am I to say?
Robin's like, no, you come in and you say you want waffles.
To this day, my mom, every time I go home, what do you want for dinner? I say gumbo. And then we have that whole P. Diddy other dude stare down. American Idol, gumbo. You said, what do I want?
Listen, you got to tip me off before we get downstairs. Just let me know what you feeling and I'll let you know if I'm feeling it.
Like, there would be BLT. It's like, girl, she offered you waffles and pancakes. What are we doing? All right, Delia.
I feel like I've told the story. It's not that it's a pretty not interesting story. I don't know. Black Hogwarts was trending one night on Twitter, and I was like, shut up, that's crazy. Because I just be a Black Hogwarts student my whole life, basically. And so I was like, let's see what's popping off in this tag. But I was also low key, lowest of keys. We've talked about this. This is a safe space. Lowest of keys, because I've always been like, nobody's a Harry Potter fan the way I'm a Harry Potter fan. I think that's a lot of people in this community's experience. Yeah. I was also kind of just hate scrolling because I was like, okay, whatever. These people clearly
it's a lot of movie.
It was a lot of movie references. I'm like, okay, whatever. Mm-hmm. But then Black Girls Great was in there and was like, hey, y'all, we got a podcast. So I was like, oh, word. So I think I even tweeted at them, was like, oh, that's so cool, whatever. And then now I'm pretty sure it was Robin, but they tweeted back, was like, oh my gosh, somebody appreciates Raxperts, because my default display name is full of Raxperts. And then I left it. I followed them and left it for a little bit, a month. And I was like, you know what? Not even a month. Let's be real. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go and try and listen to this podcast. I don't listen to a lot of podcasts, but we'll see what's happening. And they were on, I realized they were on Order of the Phoenix, which is my favorite book. And I was like, well, let me catch up with Order of the Phoenix real quick. And then I went back and listened to the rest of them, and that was kind of it. After I was caught up with Order of the Phoenix, I was like, let me get in this Slack, let me get in this Patronus chat, and that was it, pretty much.
And then they were dropping fire. And then we were at, or we were getting ready for LeakyCon, and they had asked, they were like, do you know of any folks who they needed more people for panels? And I was like, well, Delia's in Texas, so I'll ask her. Well, maybe. And then we met for real at LeakyCon.
And that's another thing too is it was obviously much easier for Connie and Portia because nobody was listening to us at that point. Like we were literally like it was just us. But like, and even now, like because it's growing all the time. But like Delia was like in the Patronus chat, like giving like actual like thoughtful like points to be made. And so then when someone asked us like, do you know anyone?
Was I?
We knew that she could like have very thoughtful opinions about Harry Potter, and also she was in Texas. Like it was like both of those things.
Yeah.
So like just for people who are wondering how that happens, like if you speak up, if you like if we know what you want to do and what you want to bring, like then
when people ask, then we have ideas of what that could be. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like that was always going to happen. It was just that happened, and then Eliana unfortunately ended up not being able to go. So then we put her on everything, and then she was just with us.
That's something people probably don't know. Like not only was I then on even more BGC panels, I also took Eliana's panels, and like I hosted like the Hermione Granger and the Quarter Life Crisis panel. Like I'd never been to LeakyCon. I like had never hosted a panel, but I was out here, and it was so confusing to people who like went like knew BGC and knew Eliana. They were like, who? Like you could tell when they would meet me, they'd be like, who are you? And I'd be like in my head like, no one, but this is awkward, so I'm just gonna be like, hey, what's up? It was a wild time. And so yeah, I forgot that happened, but yeah, that's right, I took over her panels as well.
Not when
I was like as busy as you guys were that con for no reason.
She probably hates us. We said do one, she on like 6. All right, so this one comes from, is this Kay?
Yep.
Okay. I thought I saw it early. Anyway, this comes from Kay Alex. Are there fics on the site you go back to, your own or others?
So it's funny is that at first, when I first read it, I just heard, are there fics that you go back to? And I was like,
show me.
I knew, I was like, yeah, like, let me tell you about this one Zutara fic, but.
Right, I didn't read the question fully either. And I was like, Delia wrote show me, and I have read that at least 3 or 4 times.
On the site, not really, only because like I've read them at least 3 times, maybe like at least twice, usually about 3 times before they actually go up. So by that point, I've read it a lot, so it's fine. Occasionally, I'll like go back to like the old ones because it's been now like the first post went out like at least 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So occasionally I'll go back, but I don't know any like specifics. I don't really go back to mine.
Oh, I do not go back to any of my own stuff. Yeah,
I might go back to housewives or house students, but not now.
I am so vain, y'all. I am just so vain. I go back to mine all the time. Like I will reread the Lee Jordan fic and be like, all right.
I will go back to like mine or things from the BSU verse if I'm writing something because I'm like, oh, I need to make sure that like continuity wise it makes sense. Yeah,
I just reread Imani for y'all 2 weeks ago for trivia, so I definitely go back to my own fic.
I don't read. I just
that's our book reviewer.
I'm DW when it comes to Hogwarts BSU. Like I just only because like solely because like I don't even read like fanfic on like AO3 or anything. Like I can't because I'm reading books.
Yeah.
So if I were to
I don't read books because I only read fanfic. So
So if I were to open up my spectrum to fanfic, I literally I would not be able to function. So because I read books, I only read books and then review the ones that I feel like reviewing. And then I only technically kind of reread my own fanfic for continuity or whatever for the second half. I say second half, but I'm just like, no, it's going to be 2 different parts. Yeah. So second and third half. Mm-hmm. Whenever I finish editing those,
Nicole says she rereads her own Fatty article all the time. It's one of my proud moments. So Jafeel, actually, it goes. If you haven't read Nicole's article on Thor, please.
Yeah.
I do. Actually, I've reread that one. I wasn't actually thinking about essays, but I reread that one. Well, I made her write it, so.
The question was about
I reread that. I just finished my MCU watch. I went back and reread it, and I was like, and she still makes points. Still valid.
I think I've only read through a couple of fics that are at Hogwarts BSU like once. I'm trying to think if there's anybody's in particular, so maybe, because I feel like there's only one that I may have reread, but I can't remember. I think I just only read through a couple of them once because I just don't.
I don't tend to reread fic in general.
Yeah.
And I probably only reread Delia's because it's Delia. And I wrote it. Did I read that before it went up?
Which one?
Show me. I did read it before it went up. Dang, I've read that one a lot.
Well, yeah, because literally we're both of the fics. I keep dropping gifts for Bayana, but that's not Harry Potter. But
Right.
yeah, that happens.
And it's not on the website, so it's
I
like
do
a whole
have
side story, but whatever.
Into something else, and y'all gonna be like,
Yeah.
what happened to
When we get an Austin BSU private, I might go back, and I don't like generally read fic. If y'all know anything about me, like I read my first fic at my first LeakyCon because it just sounded fire, and then I was obsessed with it, and it was the only fic, like literally one fic I read was a singular.
I wonder what the title of that one is.
Everyone say it at the same time.
And so I am new to fic in general, and then I've read the majority of all of the BSU fics, but I still haven't read all of them. And I went through a moment when I was like, I'm catching up, and I do this probably. It's usually like November, December, January, in which I'm like, we're gearing up to Black Wizard History Month, and I'm like, I need to know these because I'm sharing them out. But it will also take me about a year. It took me a year to read To All the Wizards. It took me a year to read.
But she gave me comments. It was so cute. I still if you haven't read it yet, a year later, that's fine. I'm fine. That ain't no problem.
Yeah.
I do go back to some BSU fic, not my own. Already said that, absolutely not, never in my life. It's the whole reason I haven't even finished posting it to AO3 because I go through and edit it again because you have to format it, and so I have to read it again. And anyways, it's not that I don't. Okay,
those poor AO3 people.
I just don't
that
like
one dude.
It's almost like I feel like it's a similar experience of if you don't like hearing your own voice, it's similar. I just don't want to if I don't have to. So the ones I go back to, the thing is I can't think of the titles off the top of my head, but I go back. It's usually the older ones. First of all, the question is about fic, but we used to get a lot more artwork, and I do go back to the artwork a lot, even today. So if y'all want to submit artwork, please do.
Quidditch team.
Yeah, it's dope. So submit artwork if you have it. We love artwork for Hogwarts BSU too. But for fics, so there's. Sorry, I don't know the title, but Do Black Wizards Nod? I go back to that, and that's Connie.
Okay.
And then there was the one that's by. Is it called Bite or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That one's really good. And I don't know who wrote it, but there's the Black Hair Care one. One of y'all?
It's by
Yeah. I really like to go back to, even on AO3, I really like not necessarily it's fan fiction because it's fake, but I like it it's a Wikipedia article in universe or a newspaper article in universe. I like that type of stuff a lot.
I will say I've gone back to Amani's, Eric's logs, ministry logs, because I'm like you, Dali, I do love those. I love when it's a Reddit post or a different kind of format. The Dorcas Shacklebolt entry I really like too. That's lyric.
Yikes! I just remembered a newspaper post, a newspaper idea that I had, and I didn't write it.
Do it.
I don't know what any of these things are. It's not anybody's fault, but the fact that I like.
Those are older. Those are the ones that inspired me to want to write BSU fic. That's why I go back to them.
I love that I'm overwhelmed by the amount of people who are writing Hogwarts BSU stuff. I'm always whenever there's a new tweet for a new addition to Hogwarts BSU, I'm always crap. That's another thing that I'm going to have to catch up on when I'm done. Books that I've never done because I'm always adding new stuff to this TBR pile.
Yeah.
One day I'll do the fanfics and I'll read them all.
Yeah.
Alex says, "Ugh, the bar is so high, but not too high." Okay,
it's not.
If you so desire,
it's a union. It's not.
First of all, it's not a bar. That's right, because
we're not giving out ribbons.
It's a supportive community.
Yeah, it's a union.
And the other thing too is stuff is edited, and on other sites like AO3 and fanfic.net, people might have beta readers and stuff, and might at some point in their process edit, but everything that goes on our site is edited, period.
Mhm.
So you can't really like judge it off of that.
Okay.
Like, I mean, like it's everyone's writing and it's everyone's like concepts and all those things are really dope. But like it's also
not
all
a first
edited. It's not their
draft.
first draft. They didn't just like get it and we gave them the link.
Yeah,
to
it's
post.
not like other.
And honestly, Kay, be quiet. Because
Yes, I do. Yeah.
it's already in my inbox.
Yeah,
and I
Kay's got stuff up.
Specifically, hush.
The
But for
hat.
those who haven't written,
The
the ones
The hair ties.
No, with the hat. Was she the grandmother?
That was Delia.
That was Delia. The hair ties is Kay.
Yeah,
But Delia with like the mom, the grandmother.
assortment of hats, yeah.
Yeah. The like that is such an interesting concept, right? And it's such a like very like BSU thing. You know what I mean? But like also if you read that, you read it and like you know that it's inspired because there were all of these other
Specifically that one.
poetry,
Like I'm glad you brought that one up because that actually I wrote before I wrote anything else for BSU. Like that got published this year, but I wrote it like before like so 2018 sometime is when I wrote it. But I wrote it because I was inspired by like all the ones I just said, because reading it is when you're reading them instead of seeing it as like, oh, the bar is so high, it's like it should be just like, wow, this is a cool thing people are making. I would love to make something cool like that. And so that one is very BSU like because that is directly inspired by Hogwarts BSU.
But also, if you like take it this way, everyone feels exactly the same way you do.
Yeah.
Yep.
No one writes their stuff. I mean, no one in this group, I don't know about other people, but no one in this group writes something and it's like, that's it, bangers. Ain't nobody gonna tell me nothing about this. No edits, no revisions.
Yeah.
And honestly, anytime you
at least four times. Like, I said it's like it's taken me at least 4 times to get to that.
But also, anytime I do, I get shot down immediately. So you learn not to be that way because you get shot down. It's like, this is great. And then you send it and they're like, sis, what does this mean? And I'm like, I don't know.
If you feel that way and you never send it, we wouldn't have a BSU.
Right.
No one would submit anything. So it's like, you got to take the leap and submit something because you don't know, like your piece that you think may not be up to par is the thing that inspires someone to write the next piece. But we don't know. You
can write whatever you want. I feel like we've gotten into like, we have like eras of Hogwarts BSU and right now we're doing a lot of multi-part fic, but go read like that older stuff. There's so much more variety because it was still like people they didn't have anything to go off of, but like we still love fic like that. We love like just a quick little news article that was published in the Daily Prophet. Like, love it. It doesn't have to be all of that if that's not what you're inspired to do. So,
and Do Black Wizard Style was my first fan fiction ever. It might be my first completed story,
and it's good because it's really just a snapshot of a scene. Essentially, I mean, it's not like this whole, I don't know. I feel like people get caught up in the grandeur of it all, and it doesn't need to be that.
This is like knowledge, like, because this is something I know. Whenever I was like talking to the HPA people, or whatever, I'm like, a lot of us in this space are like overachievers. Like we've been overachievers our whole effing lives, and so we set bars for ourselves that we're saying, oh no, I'm not up to your own personal bar in your head, but you're never gonna be to your own personal bar seriously because you're always gonna have crap to say about yourself and what you've done. So let us be the ones to help you do whatever bar. Like if you're saying whose bar is it? If it's your internal bar, just let that bar go for a second. Say it's out of my hands now. It's above me now. Give it to someone else to deal with. That's what I do. Whenever I finish writing, I'm like, Biana can read this and tear it apart now because I can't.
It will never get to your personal bar, even if you have one. But even if you have a personal bar, it will never get there without editing because anything that you've had that you put up on next to that bar started way lower. Like anything that's on the bar of like, this isn't J.K. Rowling. Like, first of all, we know how she can write without an editor now. So like, this is a whole thing. Like that's why I picked her as the example because it's like we've seen her with an editor and we've seen her without one, and you need an editor. Like everyone needs an editor in order to make their work better. And even if there's the editor's bar, and if your bar is higher or different, you still need someone else to be able to help you figure out what the problem is, because they're from an outside perspective and can see the holes. And then you're like, oh, that's why it's not up to my personal bar, because X, Y, and Z. And then you can fill it in and fix it. But you can't fix it if you can't see it.
Yep. And also like when your own, like the bar that you're thinking of or whatever, the thing that's holding you back, that's not, if you keep it there, it's going to stay there. So if you just sometimes you're just going to let stuff go. You just got to
be Snoop Dogg in his car listening to Frozen, okay?
Let it go.
All
right,
go.
We're going to do our very last question and then get out of here because we've been on here for a while. And thank you guys again for...
And these two have to host Wizard Team after this, y'all.
Yeah, we do. So thanks for submitting your questions. Thanks for joining us for 2.5 hours on our birthday party. And as we answer this last question, maybe Delia can look and see if there's an update on our house cup. But the last question comes from Nicole. If you could recruit any celebrities to be a part of the BGC community, who would you each invite?
Well, let's throw it back. I'm going to say Barron Trump because look, we talked about how expensive cons are. Let's just let Bill.
You want to make his daddy mad. Can you think about another way to rebel against your Faja than supporting Black women? I can't think of a better way to rebel.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think he owns a Switch, so he just joined the Animal Crossing group and have some fun.
Look, I'm just saying.
For
just
me,
join Delia and Connie over here playing Animal Crossing. Just join one of their islands for a little bit, visit. Happy to drop some coins. Just drop some coins while you're there.
It's really just
whatever the currency is. I forget. Bells?
Bells.
Yes, bells. It is bells. Fortune's like, I got it.
Those things.
Yeah, I think for me, a celebrity that I would really love to join the community, Yvette Nicole Brown. She when she followed us on Twitter, I literally had several moments. And then to this day, she'll if she interacts, I'm like, can she see me? But she's just to me the best combination of nerdy, creative, supportive, talk shit. I just think that she is real good in all those areas, and yeah. And Sasha Dewan, but he could join a community of one, whatever.
You join your personal community and you'd be just fine.
Oh my gosh. It was the first person that came to mind, and it's a solid idea. John Boyega.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
He could also join a personal community of one.
He'd be hilarious. It would just be lots of great content. We get the tea. Ooh, we would get the Star Wars tea. We get so much tea.
We would get so much tea.
Yeah.
I think his people, who's this people?
I think the celebrity that I'm thinking of is someone who we've spoken to multiple times. We just need to wrangle them in. Is Luke Youngblood, who is AKA Lee Jordan, AKA Pop Magnitude from Community. I feel like we could we just gotta lasso him in and reel him in a little bit, and we can get it. We
travel too much.
I feel like he'd be down to just hang out every once in a while on the Twitter, a live tweet or whatever. Just a little bit of just a little.
I feel Instagram. He's an Instagram dude, so we'd have to do an Instagram live or something.
Instagram stories,
Yeah, he'll have to teach us to be better about Instagram.
Yeah.
You got somebody?
I don't really trust us, so no. Not to be a part of the community. There are a lot of people I would like to interview and would like to do things collab with, but the community.
What's the collab? Then what's a collab one?
I would like to do things with Pearl Mackie, Tosa Hall, some of them. I think who else? Yeah, I would like to do collabs, but I don't want them all up in the Slack.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Oh,
Barry
yeah.
can't be in the Slack either.
With
So
I
Slack.
want John Boyega in the Slack. Absolutely.
We would have to send out in NDAs to everybody.
That's the thing. Like, I
feel like you just tell them to be.
But I start thinking about like logistics of it, and I'm just like, ooh.
But no, we would just need them to be like Beyonce is or whatever. Just have like a shadow account, like their name. They wouldn't actually be their real selves in the Slack. They'd be their like some other persona within the Slack. And
Okay, but then I'd get suspicious.
A while.
But then I get suspicious. It's like, but I've never seen your face. You've never posted nothing. Like, you don't post personal information. I'd be really suspicious.
If it's a whole other, they could catfish the Slack.
No, I would want to know it's John Boyega. I would want to know it's John Boyega.
Another one I would want, but like in a few
And he
years,
can be
not
in
yet.
the Slack. Don't care.
Blue Ivy, she could get up in here. She got bags. She probably
That's the
likes
better
it.
I feel like Blue Ivy would
That's
be
the
ready
better
to
option.
read this, and I'm not ready to be read by Blue Ivy.
I am. She could drag me for filth. That's fine.
Like, we should work on it together. How many projects do you have to do today? Like, okay, I'm sorry, Blue Ivy. I'm so
Black
sorry.
girls would truly be creating if she was managing this.
Nicole sees it.
Nicole knows.
Oh,
yeah.
We can't do it. I just do not trust
Us.
I don't trust. Like, I be chilling, but I just, as a whole, in my head, in the group, in the like,
Sasha definitely could not.
I'd be texting y'all like, "Yo, this is the problem." But like, I could have some like outward decorum, but I just don't think, as a whole, we'd be able to.
Oh, but you know what? Because our
Together.
Slack be eating messages. If they join now, they may not know what was said previously.
But then once they joined, and if they weren't catfishing, then they would already know because nobody would hold it back. They would just be like,
Maybe that explains why people join and they leave their secret celebrities and they get scared off.
"That's what I'm saying. I
You
know.
have to
I
send
don't care
NDA.
for catfish us. Catfish us and donate money. Do that."
No, I need to know it's John Boyega because I need the Star Wars tea. Also, he'd be hilarious. Like, he'd be great in the community. It would be fine. He would be fine.
Free to be his full self. He wouldn't feel like he would have to like kind of keep it closed up because he has a whole person like thing to keep up. He can just be himself without us knowing who he is.
And he could feel free to fall in love with me genuinely.
Yikes. It's going to be hard for him to fall in love with you when you're also married to all these other men.
And you talk about them on a regular basis.
Yeah.
It's not like you just like stop talking about them. Like they.
Whatever. He would just have to know that our marriage would include a lot of thirst.
Man, oh man.
All right.
All right. I
Right,
do have an update on standings. So the tea is Ravenclaw is in first with 610 points. Dang. Oh. Man.
Ouch. Okay.
I feel like there
I'm
was some,
so sorry to those puffs.
I feel like there were shenanigans afoot.
They said we were bearing gifts at this here birthday party.
They sure did.
I
They
feel like
sure
there were
did.
shenanigans afoot.
Connie keeps calling
For
shenanigans,
y'all,
but
for
she
y'all.
has access to the same spreadsheet. She be seeing.
And then you can't be salty because you were in the lead and we didn't say nothing to you. We had nothing. We had nothing against you. We were
Because
so
it's
happy
just
for you.
me. It's just
We're so
one
happy
with
for you,
me.
girl.
It's just one with me, and it's for y'all.
That's so
Who got the
For
blue
y'all.
check
I mean, so mean
and the
to us.
follows?
You're so
Who
nice.
got the blue check and accounts, girl?
Right, but you know what? Lin-Manuel Miranda is not a Hufflepuff. So, excuse you. I'm not going to use that card on this one. I am not using that card on this one. Thank you very much.
So sorry.
Oh.
So
I don't
anyway,
think I have any Puff followers.
apparently not.
How close are the second? How close is second to third?
Wow,
Puffs
Alex.
are still at 460 points. So
Wow, okay. Okay, so remember,
Ravens
is called a murder. I'll give you that one.
boom, boom.
Murder.
There's been a murder in the House Cup. So that's where we at. So
But
sorry.
did Gryffindors or Slytherins come up any, or are they the same?
No, they're the same too.
See,
We did get
shenanigans
one.
are afoot.
No, we did get one donation, but it didn't have any house ties. So if you still
Give it to me.
watching,
Give it to me.
Give it to
you can message.
Slytherin.
No.
You can DM me. You can whatever if you want your house to be attributed to it, or if you just want it to be houseless. Some
Or
people
you
ain't
want
here for
to
Harry
give
Potter.
to
That's fine,
Connie.
girl.
That sounds very individual and not house-like. I would expect from the Hufflepuffs. I thought you were supposed to be.
We're here at
We
BGC.
were holding it up. We were
No.
holding it up for
At
3
BGC,
weeks.
we're about house unity. BGC benefits regardless. So if Ravenclaw wants to be in first, just let them be in first.
You're sounding very much like Percy Weasley, Connie, and I need you to check that.
Honestly, once we're done, I'm not gonna care anymore.
right,
Hufflepuff is just like, it's just like badgering up, and then the Hufflepuff's gonna go take a nap.
Well, let's get started on this because I too would like to take a nap. Thank you guys so much for joining us and celebrating our birthday with us. Stay tuned for Wizard Team if you're in the Patronus chat, in a few hours. We'll be back here. Essays, Patreon content, and of course another year of even more content. Take what we said to heart, though. If you have ideas, if you have things you want to submit, if you have fan art, if you have music, if you have a knitting pattern,
suggestion box we haven't used in a while.
we do.
We should drop that.
Send it over. We have a survey going around right now, which is just asking you guys how you feel about the brand, how you feel about the content, how you feel about the community, and how we can improve. We have a suggestion box that we haven't used in a while, as Biana said, so we'll start bringing that out again. And thank you specifically to Ravenclaw.
Hold on, Dahlia. What would you?
I was just gonna say I missed an important number. The standings are the same, but also for those who don't know, we had a stretch goal of 1,500 for the rest of the month, and if we pass it, we pass it. We're still gonna donate, 50% to We Need Diverse Books, but we're getting really close to it. We're at, including the houseless, the orphaned points. We're at
Wagadoo points.
Wagadoo points, yeah. Actually, I'm gonna rename that right now. Wagadoo. Okay, the Wagadoo points. We are at 1,433, so that's super dope. You guys are so generous. So that's exciting. Just to update y'all, because I didn't realize we had shot up that much in this short little time. So there you go.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. Thank you to the Squint. Connie, go get your nap. Delia, go get you a Dr. Pepper. Portia, go get you something on that to be read pile.
Dang, the rest of us got joy. Portia got work to do.
Candy to Portia. She loves to read.
Portia a job.
All right, go get you some candy, some sweets. Sorry. Some of them another mimosa, more wine. And thank you guys all, and we will be around. We'll see ya. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.